Episode 3, Turnabout Legacy.
A cooking show?
What should we make today, kids?
And Judy's Bake and Bop.
Oh, they actually...
Bake and Bop?
Oh! Macaroons, waffles with creams, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream.
Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you.
Look here.
What, where?
Over there. The
oven's
oven's got something special to share. Now let's see what we've got for you. It's cooking time! Are you ready to... Oh. Okay. Oh, it's on the TV screen.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Talk about a blast from the past. Hey, Gregory. I'm going back there tomorrow with your boy. I'm finally going to find out what happened 18 years ago.
April 2, 10:05 a.m. Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. Oh. Well, Fender, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery, of all places?
Hey, you had nothing going on. Seemed like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star sign stuff together.
I'm leaving.
Oh, chill, big guy. I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident, yes? Your old man's last case.
Of course. Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. And I reviewed them again last night after your invite, see? I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are a bit somewhat hazy.
Aha, so you were there too. You were in the courtroom for Gregory's final outing. Well, that'll make explaining things easier. I want you to know something, see? It was 18 years ago, smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today.
December 24, 5 p.m. Attention Sandra, visitors room.
Okay, Gregory, buddy, pal. You look awesome.
Yeah, he really nails the detective look.
Hey, Mr. E, this one really came out of the blue, huh?
It did. We were called in before the ink on the arrest papers was even dry.
A murder on Christmas Eve? What's the world coming to?
In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw two timely saviors are coming my way. Welcome, my friends, to the visitors' room. If we're not friends yet, I'm sure we will be soon.
Oh, talk about an entrance! Look at the god! I was not expecting that.
Neither was I. Sorry if I surprised you. I'm just so happy to see you both. You're the accused, I take it. I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. I look forward to representing you. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender.
Pleased to meet you, sir. Why are you so scared? I'll do everything I can to help.
Come now, Edward. Calm down, please. You'll have to forgive him. He's still new to this. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's far from fully fledged lawyer material yet. Gregory and Eddie, it's an honor to meet you both. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself. What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name.
Okay, dude has a Chad face with an afro.
Yeah.
This is by far one of the coolest characters in the entire series.
I'm Samson Tangora.
Samson Tangora, the world's greatest confectioner!
You flatter me, my young friend, and call me Samson. All my pals do.
Wow! Oh my god, those eyes. Thanks, Samson. I will. I can't believe I'm meeting you in person. Mr. E, it's the Samson Tangora, the singing, dancing, confectionery-making sensation.
What shall we make today, kids?
Macarons, waffles with cream, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream.
Laugh and sing! Smile, it's true! All that sweetness waiting for you! Look there!
What, where?
Over there! The oven's got something special to share! Now let's see what we've got for you! I almost started dancing along.
No way! I got to sing with Samson Tangora! This is a dream come true!
Thanks, little pal. It means a lot to hear you say that. My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course, I'm sure you're both very busy. I understand that the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest there when a body was found inside one of my creations.
Inside one of your... No way!
The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it. And now, here I am. But I could never take a life. Never. I'm sure the police will see that too in time and realize their mistake. And what can you tell me about the victim? His name is Artie Frost. He was taking part in the contest.
Oh, I see why he was killed. His hair sucks.
Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of real beauty. I just don't understand. Why did he have to die? Seems generally upset over the victim's death. Oh, his mansion is the art gallery.
Ooh, it's pretty cold out here, huh, Mr. E? I never saw so much snow. Well, maybe if you wore something heavier than what you are right now, Eddie, you'd be warmer. Welcome, everyone! Come on in, we'll have some fun! I assure... I'm sorry. Would you happen to be Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance?
I would. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Eddie Fender, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, welcome to our humble abode. Judy Bound, it's an honor to meet you both. I'm the housekeeper here, and Mr. Tangora's assistant. You're no housekeeper, you're Judy Bound, the Judy Bound. You know a little something of my work. A little. I watch you on TV every chance I get. I'm Bacon Pop's biggest fan. Oh no. It's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nothing without our fans.
And what might Bacon Bob be?
Come on, old man, get with the times. It's only the biggest show on TV. Every kid on the planet loves it. The dynamic duo of Samson and Judy make delicious sweet stuff, all while singing and dancing. But all this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Here, nothing relaxes the body and mind quite like a cup of tea. Oh no, they're British.
Ah, this is Ceylon, correct? It's delicious. Its citrus aroma is to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall. How odd. The sauce is cold.
Yes, it's so that the tea cools down more quickly, I'm afraid. Some of our guests don't like it too hot.
I see. These teacups are very unique too. The design is really something.
I ordered them all the way from France. They're my absolute favorite. They were designed by a marvelous sculptor named Paul Haliqui. He makes the most amazing tableware in the world.
You're clearly a big fan of his work.
Oh, I am. These teacups are my greatest treasure.
Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier?
I'm sorry for getting so distracted. I guess I'm still in shock, because I'm the one who found the body, you see?
Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations?
It is! We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when I heard the sound of something big collapsing coming from Samson's room. Ah! I opened the door and went inside and there was Mr. Frost's body.
Thank you. I'm sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience. Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to begin our investigation of the crime scene.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson.
Of course.
Thank you so much. I'll go serve the others their tea then. Others? Look at that chef. He is a badass. Holy shit.
Yeah, he is a badass looking guy.
No way. Everything in this room is made of chocolate.
Wait, what?
I can't believe I'm going to see so many of Samson's creations this up close and personal.
Might be more excited myself if the room wasn't a murder scene.
Just hearing you say that sends a shiver down my spine.
That might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold. Well, yeah, if it's all chocolate, it has to be cold.
Now that you mention it, it is pretty chill. Defense on the scene already. That was fast. The detective in charge is named Bad, a man of few words. What? 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 Why?
Okay.
Some of this just doesn't taste right. Well, it's paper, you idiot.
Okay.
You're eating your no paper? What the hell?
He likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally. I'm afraid it helps him digest and remember them. Detective Bad, would you mind if we joined you investigating the scene?
Sorry. Not gonna happen. What? How come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney. Yeah, and attorneys will do anything to get him off the hook. Even put words in their client's mouth. Mr. Edgeworth would never do something like that. I don't trust attorneys. Okay, kid?
Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct?
That's usually how it works, yeah. What of it?
And extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent, and I would like the chance to prove it.
Fine. Knock yourselves out.
Thank you, Detective.
No, my headcanon is gone! Okay, no. Kay has been born at this point. We'll go with that. Kay is born, so he switched to lollipops to get used to it. But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys. That was a lollipop this whole time?
I must admit I didn't see that coming either. We better get started then. I'll need you to take notes, Eddie.
On it, mystery! I'll eat them all! Alright, we have to talk to this guy.
Yeah, we have to talk to that chef. And you are? Sorry. Meditating. Did you want something, Detective?
I don't know if he's Japanese, but I love it!
Name's Carmelo Gusto. I'm a confectioner. Here for the contest.
You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto?
Holy
hell?
shit! Holy shit! The art of air and sugar.
No way! Look at that! It's a late little baby seahorse!
It's a dragon, a noble, soaring creature of the skies. No need to sugarcoat it. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Shengfa when this is all over. I need to train. Hard. What are you doing in here, Mr. Gusto? Didn't think they were allowing civilians in the scene yet. Detective wanted to know more about one of the pieces in here. Whew. Sugar blowing plumps. They put air into the sugar.
They're so cool! It's like watching a swordmaster do his thing!
I am no master. Not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another.
You cut your own eye out accidentally with this, didn't you?
Yeah, he did. That's why I wear red. That way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. The way of the confectioner is a lonely one. You never stop learning. Not until you die. What can you tell us about the contest? The contest was Tangora's idea. It's about the arts, confectionery as art. Art you can eat, every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible. Tangora is a genius, a once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair, he has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confections himself, you can't win.
I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kinda hard, yeah?
As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here. Nothing else matters. So you're competing for a title, effectively? And a treasure. The ultimate cookbook. Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's the list of rules that was given out to contestants.
Prizes: the ultimate cookbook, the title of world's greatest confectioner. Judging will proceed clockwise from the leftmost room. All contestants gather in Mr. Tangaroa's room when judging ends. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Stands and display materials will be provided. Contestants may not enter another contestant's room until judging has been completed.
So basically all the rooms we see from the entrance wall had a separate contestant in them.
So they've been spending weeks here then for this contest.
Yeah, this seems like something that would take ages to do. How was the judging organized? It started at 3 p.m. Tangora began making the rounds right about then. He left his own room, then worked his way around the venue clockwise.
I want to see what Gusto did.
My creations were the first to be judged.
Wait, who's judging them? Tangaroa? Because that seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. After that, he went to Scone's room. She's another one of the contestants. What can you tell us about her? Ruthless, brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Cream, some kind of dreamscape. Then, last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice. Sculptures this time. Or so I heard.
Bound found the body, while Tangora was still making the rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangora went right on judging. Claims he didn't know a thing about it. Until afterwards. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work, even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. Huh, pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book.
By the way, Detective Bad, what were you and Mr. Gussel talking about earlier?
I was going to ask about the piece on the wall here. The one in the frame.
Oh, an angel.
Thought I'd better ask somebody who knows about this stuff. But then you bozos showed up and pulled me away from my very important work.
Ah, I see what's wrong. Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together.
Can't take a hint, can you?
I get a feeling Gusto has nothing to do with this. He seems like the honorable warrior type, you know?
I don't know. He might just be acting like the honorable warrior. You see it too, right? The frame. Something's missing.
You're right, Detective. Something is missing from this frame.
Take that.
Oh my god, his voice.
Look at that decorative work in the corner here. Something's missing, no?
Oh yeah, it's different from the other side.
That's not like Tangora. The balance is all wrong.
But that's not all. Take a look around. Every confectionist's room is missing some small bit. Did somebody deliberately damage them? Can't wait to eat this. Oh, did Tangora just wanted to look like somebody messed with his work?
Are these finger marks?
Yeah, but we don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID.
It could certainly be important to the case.
Achoo!
Are you alright, Eddie?
Yeah, but it sure is chilly in here.
Yes, it wasn't exactly warm out in the fountain room either.
Why do they have the heat down so low?
Come on, Bad.
You're in a room of chocolate, Bad. You're a detective? Come on.
Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind that panel on the wall.
It's only 59 degrees?
That's not chilly at all, I would think.
Like, my room is that half the time. I'm not sneezing or anything down here because of the cold. Instead, I sneeze because of the cat.
There's one in each of the contest rooms. Tangora hid them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works. They're just the temperature and the lighting. It goes all the way down to minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold enough to keep any confectionery from melting.
Hey, Detective Bad, you, mind if we turn it up a little? I'll kill you. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work.
Get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it.
Huh, you know the temperatures by heart, huh? Guess it is your job.
Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more.
Alright, what about lollipops and cream?
If it's not too hot or too humid, lollipops should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees.
Detective Bad kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he?
I suppose he must be very fond of them.
Yes, his new goddaughter, Kate.
This is where the body was discovered.
Yeah, they took it away already. But everything else is just how we found it.
Appears to be a body inside of the treasure chest.
Yeah, a woman by the name of Bound found it. Samson? I can't. Oh, God damn, I knew this would be a problem. Samson? Are you in here? Ah! Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see what it was.
There's something else in here. Looks like a seal of some kind. Somebody's initials and an intricate shape carved into it.
Is it for making those fancy wax things on documents? Do you think it belonged to the victim? No idea, but it's gotta get logged anyway, so I'll take that.
Intriguing. Understands for the ship is broken.
The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think, could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship?
If he was, this becomes an accidental death, not a murder.
You too serious?
Don't worry, Detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility.
I was being serious, though.
Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body?
Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma.
And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet?
You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that. Oh no.
Oh, it's fun karma. Would you mind if we borrowed this?
No skin off my nose. It's not like it's official. Who says no skin off my nose? It's no skin off my back or something. Bound took it. And wait, with an instant camera. Ah, that is not my first idea. Oh, a body. Snap a picture. Ah! Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body. An instant camera? Like it's disposable or something?
No. Because it develops the pictures right there and when you take them.
Oh, so it's click. Zzz.
Yes. That kind
It's
of
one of
camera.
those cameras.
There's something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. He has a blanket on him. Now something breaking is the broken stand.
Probably. Yay!
The stand broke and the ship collapsed with it. And the loud sound it brought Miss Bound running.
Yeah. Said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here.
But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break?
So maybe he was in here damaging the things as a little sabotage, and then he screwed up and got hit on the head with a giant boat.
But why would he be hiding in the chest?
Why can the chest open?
Yeah, that is a very good question.
That's my question. Wait, is my theory actually working?
All of Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody went all out.
Do you think it could have been the killer?
It's certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in our mystery person's tampering spree. When it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise. There's a very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is the same design as the one Miss Bound served us with earlier.
You think Samson could have been drinking tea out of that? The pot and cup were dusted for prints. His were the only ones they found. Everything else had been washed, so there weren't any prints to find. Neato. Aha!
What's missing? Oh,
There's
shit!
the chocolate!
You're right!
Eureka!
You said the only thing that was been removed from the... You said the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body.
Yeah, that and the piece of cloth it was wrapped in.
Then something here doesn't quite add up.
It doesn't?
Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing.
Le gasp. You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioned they'd remove the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics. What is it, Mr. E? What did you figure out?
Compare the treasure chest in the photograph to the real thing. The picture, the solid chocolate bottom, continues underneath the deceased head. And yet, that part of the chest is now gone.
It wasn't forensics. They're saying nobody took anything like that away.
Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene. I think we're about done here for now.
Didn't I just update this?
Yes.
Well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangora did it. No two ways about it. What do you mean? All the rooms in this place locked from the inside. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key.
Let's see. Who had access to that key?
Who do you think? Tangora. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies. With that mansion key, Tangora could slip into anybody else's room anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted.
Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it?
Nope, which is exactly what makes him a suspect.
Do you care to explain your thinking?
Why I think Tangora did it. If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangora would have been the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room, and why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney.
I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own?
Ha! Do your worst.
Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. I'm not about to just accept his version of events.
Hold it!
The judging began in Mr. Gusto's room, correct?
Yeah, kinda wanted to check his hard candy stuff out myself.
In that case, how about a demonstration?
This guy.
I love this guy. Oh, it's a dog! I'm starting to enjoy these little displays.
Objection!
We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Mrs. Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing.
Sure, seems likely, based on the evidence.
And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangora who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. If that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangora, who was out judging the concert at that time.
I never said he did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand, so it would collapse when he was in the middle of judging.
Have you any way of proving that assertion?
Nope, but the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time.
Have you found any prints in this room besides those of Mr. Tangora?
Yep, on the door. But we found Tangora and Frost prints on there too.
We were all brought in here for a briefing, right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangora's works for prints yet?
I would.
We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so.
Fine, but if we don't find anything, your guy's still on the top of my list. Got it? Forensics, get your ass over here. Check all this chocolate stuff for prints. Now! We finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangora, sir. Go on. Whose? Delicia Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants. Good work. You can go back to whatever you were investigating before. I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself.
Alicia Scone. Mr. Gusteau mentioned her too.
This Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Mr. E?
Yes, I think we better try to speak with her ourselves as well.
What the hell?
Is that Scone?
She's the ruthless one? Whoa, a candy castle! And look, there are even some little elves to go with it!
Damn.
Wow. It sounds cold though. That's something. Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel here too. Where is Miss Scone?
Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie.
Oh my god. I hate her already.
Oh, just look at you, lovely boys. Delicia Scone at your service. Some cheeky blinders back in Blighty. Oh my gosh, she's British. Some cheeky blinders back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious. Tee. Well, a lovely boy at 34. Unexpected to say the least.
Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney.
Yeah, alright.
Oh god.
What's the meaning of this? Sit chatting with the defense?
Why are you in there? Mr. Edgeworth! Some scary guy just stepped out of the castle! Oh my god! Look at Scone's face!
Oh, she's terrified. Holy shit. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear. Never to show your sniveling face again. What a thoroughly rude individual. We were hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma. Ha! And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy? So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it.
Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait till I'm done. Huh? I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet? Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me.
Ah.
Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did.
Let's say we look over the room together, detective. It worked out well enough before.
Huh, guess I'm stuck with you. For a little while longer.
Where did Scone go?
Yes! You're amazing, Mr. E! A ladder! Or is it a step ladder? What's the matter? Something weird about the ladder?
It's not a ladder, Detective Bat. It's a step ladder.
Same difference.
Far from it, actually. You know if you observe their basic natures more closely.
Amazing, Mr. E! I'd remember this for future reference. There's an achievement for that!
Of course there is.
Temperature 68 degrees. Light set to green. Didn't Gusto say? Cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees. Temperature in here is too high.
That is indeed very strange. It's a cute little elf made of candy, and it's sitting on a little tree stump. The whipped cream decorations around it are beginning to lose their shape. They are melting. But the elf seems completely fine. Strange.
Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see. Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. My god, you're so tall. Heh, cream's going all runny.
Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle?
There's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether.
Well, they certainly aren't made of candy.
No idea what this stuff is for.
I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before. Yeah, because it was blue fabric on the body.
Too big. Rock crystals? Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage. Kinda expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. The hexagonal things.
Yeah, they have the hexagons at the bottom. The rock crystal stands at the pillars in front of the castle features the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Scone, what were you using the items inside the castle for?
Oh, those. Sorry, Lambkin, but I'm not allowed to say.
Let me guess. Von Karma.
How did you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. You'll have my guts for girders.
Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but...
What's that, dearie? You interested in my little trinkets?
Your trinkets?
Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed. Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic, huh? Oh, Batty Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me?
The name is bad.
Is that a no? Why are you being so selfish, Batty Bumpkin?
I'm gonna kill her. You, have you finished taking photos of this room yet? Yes, sir. We have, sir. Then help Miss Scone here with something, will you?
Oh, the cloth glows!
Huh. Wow. It's beautiful.
It is. I wish my son was here to see it.
The 4 adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't that the nicest thing you've ever seen?
One day elves must be feeling a little left out.
Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too?
Oh, what's happened there, I wonder?
Oh, come on, Francis guy, you would have noticed this.
You would have noticed that immediately.
Bulbs are smashed. Both of them. Maybe they fell and broke on the floor? Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left.
That's not just a stain. That's...
Yep, it's blood all right. I can smell it. Francis guy. The hell? Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration.
And that is obviously not confectionery. Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, detective.
Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration.
That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would have been against the rules. The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high.
It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that.
When you opened the doors of the castle, the hands themselves were just fine.
Yeah, they were sturdier than expected.
Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries.
What the?
I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy.
It's not just the handles. The whole castle. The little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top.
Oh my god.
What? So none of this is confectionery odd at all?
No, it's only made to look like candy, with the cream having been added to lend it all an air of authenticity. Oh my god, so is that how she's cheating? So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Scone made a mockery of the rules.
Yeah, guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now.
We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt. We found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon?
For sure, it could definitely do enough damage to kill someone. You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamps yet? Yes, sir. Just got done a minute ago, sir. While I was looking underneath the stove. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it.
This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others.
It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone.
Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my cloths and one of my little machines went missing.
Cloth and what sort of machine exactly?
Those luminous cloths are connected to those little thingamajigs. They are called, all-spectrum light-emitting devices. They send light down the main cable and into each optical fiber strand. That's what the cloth makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all.
So these are light-emitting devices. You lost one of them and a piece of luminous cloth.
That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never never did understand Von Karma. At least during these phases. Once he's in the courtroom, it's understandable why he just goes straight for the guilty verdict. But he hides things pre-investigate, like pre-court. Like, even to hide the killer. It's just weird.
Yeah. Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest? Of course, dearie. Let's see. It all started at about 10 in the morning. That's when we set to work.
Wait a second. He built a boat that early? In a day?
That would not be possible.
Ow!
That would not be possible. And well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you'd expect. Oh, and then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think.
And where was this afternoon tea served?
Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. They do it in the same hour every break time during the contest. They're on a nice little spread, you know. But today only me, Samson Silly Pants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Sammy Poodle had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. But poor old Chillywinks and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet. Bless them.
Really? The dude who died and Samurai were missing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our 2 TV superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished, though. I would laugh while the others were still nattering away.
At any point during the concert, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms?
No, dear, don't be silly.
That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Caught red-handed.
Wait, so you admit you were there?
Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear? Well, I suppose you'd call it research.
Research?
Sammy Poodle's a dad pan when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say.
What kind of research leaves fingerprints?
It's hardly research if you don't have a little nipple now, is it? She ate parts of it!
So, the trace of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you?
I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. One poor Sammy Poodle getting upset, so it was just the teensiest bits and pieces.
And the stand holding up the ship? You took a bite out of that too, I suppose?
Oh yes, dear, of course I did.
It was you? You brought the whole thing crashing down?
Actions were certainly suspicious. That's about all we can say for now.
And the only people missing were Frosty and Gusto.
Yeah.
So Gusto's now a suspect in my eyes.
Miss Scone, why the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees?
Because I ate the cold, I don't die, dearie. And besides, being chilly's no good for a girl.
But most of your work is made out of whipped cream, and whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees, or it starts to deflate.
Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? It's only gone and made a whoopsie.
Wait, she really didn't know that? Huh, world-class confectionaire my foot.
It's going to appear to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created. And she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for that she went into that room to do research.
That's enough investigating for now. Don't you think? Oh my god, either Bat is tall or she's short.
She's short.
Holy shit, that's a difference.
She's tiny. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found a murder weapon when he searched this room. Yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He even seemed too interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. With it bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma.
Me too. Him and Scone.
Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you if that's alright. Tisk. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon. It was in Mrs. Scones' room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest. Ha! Nonsense! It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangora is guilty.
I'm confused on what you deem a victory, dude.
Yeah, I'm very confused. You have an explanation, I assume. So why the murder weapon was in Miss Scones' room? Of course I do. I'll be delighted to share it with you. Tangora killed Frost with one of Scorn's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room. Once the deed was done.
What is his motive?
After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangora would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon? Considerably less so. and satisfy, there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
What is his motive?
You have proof that he did it. I don't need any such thing. What? Tesk. Your rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. So he took one of the salt lamps from Miss Scone's room back to his own. Indeed. He prepared it beforehand, knowing that it would be the perfect weapon with which to kill Frost.
He couldn't. Why would he do that? He's not allowed. It's part of the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're saying he did it deliberately.
Objection!
No?
This man von Karma on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear.
We noticed.
My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claims.
And that is why there was no evidence. So the luminous cloth here, I guess?
I think so.
Objection!
It's true that the murder weapon and the lost stained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained. That does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. That's not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Scone's room.
What's that, dearie? One of my lovely, colorful gloves at the scene of the crime, you say?
Luminous cloth? Nonsense, I see no light to speak of. It may look like an ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent.
Look at his face! I don't think he was expecting that!
One of the rolls of the cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. If you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. von Karma? The salt lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. Mr. von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest.
What?
She did it with her feet!
Reggie Pecklick, how could you? You're accusing me, of all people?
I'm not accusing you of anything just yet, but I do think you are hiding something. Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were missing in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder? Exactly. Tesk. Something funny. Only that you walked so carelessly into my trap.
What?
I will now send you to the Association realm. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. What does he mean? Tangora spotted them before the contest began, and noticed that the lamps and the cloths contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them, and took them to his own room for safekeeping. Why didn't he take the rest of them then? Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost, as he had secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangora, possessing as he did the only key. As you now know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have had everything I need to get Tangora convicted all along. Well, how does it feel to have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom? This can't be happening.
Why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangoroa?
Well, dear, Mannequin said if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion. And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me of self just a second ago.
One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are only two sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon. Those of Delicia Scone and Samson Tangoroa. Tangoroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified.
That's right. We have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for. We can discuss your lingering doubts at your leisure, detective. But whatever they might be, they are no business of the defenses.
Yes, they are, actually.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad. What?
Take that!
There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangoroa's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer, it could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon. How do you know so much about the crime scene?
Because I let them look around.
You let the defense examine the scene, Bat? Are you out of your mind?
I don't remember you telling me not to. Not that I'd have listened.
It's that worm. You do well to remember his scent, detective. That's the results of your next salary review. Up to me.
Why do they always threaten salary?
It's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangora. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creations.
Objection!
But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there's still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up.
I owned up to nippling poor Sammy Poodles. Sweeties, what more do you want?
I don't want to have to make you suspects. I'm much as certain. But you lied to us. And you're still not telling us everything. I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. I think you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up. What proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? The elf?
Take that!
The entire fantastical world of Miss Scone created, every last bit of it, it's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. Is this so bad?
Yep. Saw with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes.
Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects.
But no, dear, I'm no killer.
Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth?
All right. Truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it.
A pharmacist!
So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one?
Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And Sammy Poodle sweets are the best, or so they say. I just had to enter. That means I end up making it all the way to the final.
And the finger marks? Were you the one who wearing the gloves?
No, that wasn't me, dear. I didn't even wear gloves.
It's Scone. Where Mr. Tangaro's work's the only one she sampled.
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chiliwink's room for a little taste too.
You were in the victim's room too?
Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see. But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off the side to cleanse my palate. That's everything, I promise.
Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please, let us accompany you. Accompany me if you like. But don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation.
Okay, I'm starting to suspect it is Gusto more and more.
Yeah,
because we're not allowed in his room.
At least not yet. Pardon, sir. What is the meaning of this? What?
When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone. The whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? This case was a real peach, and it was going to take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all.
I had no idea how it all came about. I read the files, but I don't go into anywhere near that level of detail. What happened with the case after that?
Well, what's with the ice sculptures vanishing from the victim's room, things hit a bit of a rough patch. Why did he start talking so slowly? So rough, in fact, that it took a full year before they could even reach a verdict in the trial.
Damn!
This was back before they brought in the whole initial trial thing.
I see. They ever find out who the victim's creations managed to just disappear?
They were sorbents or frozen desserts or whatever you want to call them. Ice, in other words. And if it's made of ice, it can melt, which is exactly what they concluded must have happened. But there's a chance that wasn't how things actually went down. So this place is a gallery these days, but back then, it was Samson Tangaroa's place, yeah? Well, word is Frost ice sculptures are suddenly back on display. 18 years after that fateful day.
The very sculptures the victim made?
Who knows? Could be they're just modeled on the originals. But I figured it was worth coming down for a little look-see just in case. Well, alrighty then. Let's go take a look at these icy marvels. Shall we, kiddo? I believe they're on display in the Winter Wing, as it's very snazzily known.
That would be over here. Oh, look, Roman statues.
Yeah. So, Winter Wing, Winter Wing. Right there. Huh? I don't believe it. It's locked. Let me get my key that I pilfered off of Samson 18 years ago. The gallery is open for biz, but the Winter Wonder's wings off limits? What gives?
Fender, perhaps you should look more closely at the pamphlet we were given. The Winter Wing is over there.
Oh. It is. Freaky. Could have sworn it was in this one. Anywho, shall we? Time to dive on in and see what we should have seen 18 years ago. Oh my god, why are you here?
Oh my god! Look at those ice sculptures, damn.
I see they're still keeping it chilly as all heck in these rooms. I'm about to turn into a popsicle stick.
It is the winter wing, you know, but you're right. It's like a freeze in here.
Ronnie buddy, pal, why the hell are you dressed like that?
Yeah, you should not be dressed like that.
Also, what is with Demon Kid on the other side?
A boy wearing a backpack. Must doing an art gallery on his own.
She wanted to run a gallery so bad she just quit the industry? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
So how about this? I scream out, "Oh no! This must be the work of the villain in the mask!"
Oh my god. That's right. Technically speaking, he can never be tried as Mascot Mask, legally speaking. Yeah, and I go, that's me, the legendary Mascot Mask. I don't remember his voice.
Yeah, and then, no, say that and you'll be in cuffs before you can blink, Ronnie. You've got to take this more seriously. Otherwise, how are we gonna get this to the market to sell?
Oh, they're using the same machine.
Oh, it must be some kind of battery. Oh, wait. That's the cloth. Over the woman.
Guess these are remakes of Ross' work from 18 years back.
These are the works of my father. These are the works my father never got to see. I think that I got to see them instead. Years later.
Sorry to butt in while you're deep in a think hole, Meister. But would you mind looking this way a sec? Beautiful, yeah, just like that.
And really?
Yes, say cheese.
Please don't do that again. I don't like having my picture taken.
Vintage model. Oh, it's one of those. You ever hear of an instant camera? It develops the picture right after you take the shot. Still twists my noggin trying to think how it works. My god.
All his joking, he looks very serious about the pictures he's taking. Well, since you've already shoved one in my face.
Did you like jump up for that angle?
But I've had to.
All right, Brainiac. Question. What do these two sculptures represent?
They appear to represent Taurus and Gemini. The constellations best served during wintertime.
Bingo! He shoots, he scores. Whew! You're a regular encyclopedia, Milester.
So they to make these same zodiac statues out of the flavored ice for the contest 18 years ago?
Sure did. Lovely crafted life-size desserts.
So this is what you wanted to show me?
Yep. Think Gregory would have wanted you to see him, too. And I may not have had it in me to come here on my own. So to drag you along.
Not at all. I'm happy to be able to see where my father's final case unfolded.
Good to hear you say so, Paleo.
According to the pamphlet, the winter wing is kept at a constant 27 degrees. I assume Fahrenheit.
Ooh-wee! That's colder than a snowman's cold bits. I'm gonna freeze to death in here. Guess there's only one thing for it. Somebody's getting a snuggle. Oh no. Run. Hey, what's with that icy stare? You want me to freeze to death? Yes.
No.
Alrighty, I got the shots I wanted. Shall we scoot on over to another wing and see what's cooking?
I suppose so.
Ah.
What was that?
It came from the fountain room. Come on, let's go see what's up. It's K, isn't it? Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Why are you here? Also, that Edgeworth animation is great.
There's someone on the ground, and is that? Oh no!
Larry's killed another person!
Larry, what are you doing here? Actually, never mind that. What on earth is going on? I didn't do anything, he just fell down in front of me. Wait, why are they here?
Especially you, Delicia! You literally told us you're a pharmacist!
Wait, this smell.
He's still breathing, but I know these symptoms.
Everyone, with me. There's no moment to lose. There's a poison gas coming out of that room.
Get away from that room, there's poison gas. We'll just stand here.
Damn, look at Larry's walk. How's the victim doing, Fender?
Not good. He inhaled a lot of gas. He's still out and it sounds like it's pretty serious. But the paramedics said there are no signs of external injury and that he was conscious before it happened. They put him in the medical room with a specialist.
I see. Couldn't help but noticing that it seemed like you knew him, Fender.
Sure do. That was Carmelo Gusto. He was here back when the whole IS-7 thing went down. Any hoozles. This guy here seems like he's in rude health. Whole pal of yours, Miles Reno.
Yes. Something like that. I'm glad you're okay, Larry. Something like that? Are you serious, Archie? Anyway, you know you're supposed to call me Loris Dixnum when I'm dressed like this.
You're still on about that?
Apparently. This is Larry Butts.
We do not need this introduction. Whoa, grade school buddies. I need to go tell Gregory about this. He'll be over the moon to hear you have a pal. He was always worried you never click with anybody.
Never mind that now, Larry. What are you doing here? Loris, Edgy! How many times do I have to tell you it's Loris? What are you doing here? So you want to know why I'm here? Why the heck do you think? For my aunt, of course. Oh, and I'm coming on a date here with Lulu soon, so I thought I better scope the place out.
Did you notice anything when you found the victim?
Nothing in particular. Didn't you say you'd seen something awful? Oh, Dad. The old guy, he just appeared and then splat. He was on the floor. Scared the life out of me. But for once, I had nothing to do with any of it. Don't look so proud. That's the least we should be able to hope for. Damn!
Holy shit, you got a glow up, lady.
Yeah, what a glow up, holy
What's with the fan, though? Mr. Fender, it's always a pleasure.
She was at the reception desk when we arrived. So she's the one in charge here.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, she dances! Of course she does.
Oh, isn't this fabulous? The great man's son here with us. 18 long years have passed, but now look, he's here at last. I don't know what kind of beat this is supposed to be or anything. It's very lovely to meet you, Mr. Fine Attorney number 2. Judy, that was the bomb. I see you're in good voice as ever. Yeah, I don't think so. Poor Judy. I can't do it justice.
This is wonderful. Hi, Judy. Can I, get an autograph? You can write it in here. Why do you want it, Larry? Rude! You know who she is, right?
Judy is the living legend. It's not just TV. Movies, musicals, chart-topping hits, you name it. Oh!
Wow.
Oh, shit!
She made a name for herself. Holy shit.
Oh, don't be silly. I'm just a humble art gallery owner now. I finally quit the biz for good. Anyway, here you are, and good luck with your artistic endeavors.
Thanks so much, Judy. I'll treasure till my dying day. Larry, could you go practice your drawing somewhere or something?
A real artist drawing our exhibits. What an honor.
All right, Judy. Seeing as you were so nice about it, guess I will. Be right back.
He's a real life wire, that one.
By the way, there was another woman with you before. Where's she now?
You mean Delicia? Delicia Scone? She's in the medical room helping to care for Mr. Gusto. She the specialist?
I guess so.
Why would she still be here? And why is she wearing that outfit? I couldn't stay with them as I'm the only one on staff. And I can't leave the gallery unattended for long. Hire someone!
Alicia Scone. You've heard her name before, haven't we, Fender?
Sure have. Sounds like our IS7 bingo card is complete. Perhaps I could offer you gentlemen a cup of tea? A drop of the old Judy Bound special blend? Why not? For old time's sake.
This is a fine blend. A top quality Ceylon indeed.
It's said to improve one's ability to concentrate, right? The old man said those exact words 18 years ago. Really takes me back. There's just one difference. Jude's cooled the saucers back then. Not today, though, it seems.
Don't you think this is all a little odd?
Every single person from an 18-year-old case, all assembled in the same place at the same time? Oh my god!
Mr. Edgeworth, sir! You alright?
Why are you here, Kay? We heard you got caught up in a poison gas attack, so we came as fast as we could. Well, if it isn't the cavalry, come on, team, bring it in. No way! Besides, you both do it just fine. Tell me I got ourselves all worked up over nothing.
What were you thinking bringing Kay with you? I knew it was dangerous, what with the poison gas and all, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran, but I just couldn't shake her off.
When it comes to running away, the great thief right here is the world champ.
Oh, sir. Just say the word and I'll head in there and start investigating. You guys stay here. That gas could still be dangerous.
Good luck in there, Dicky boy.
This is Edgeworth speaking.
Mr. Edgeworth, looks like the gas is supposed to dissipate, sir.
Why is this room identical? Well, not identical. You can see a difference over there by Gemini. Very good, detective. Now calm down and tell me what you see.
Yes, sir. First up the exhibit, there's a statue of 2 people on the left side. And on the right, some kind of 2-horned animal. Under that, the place is pretty damp. Sprinkler sprayed the place good. Must be what stopped the gas from spreading.
Sprinklers? Any signs of a fire?
No, sir, and the fire alarm hasn't been triggered either. When they detect something, they send an alarm, either fire or smoke, to the security room. Guess they read the gas as smoke and triggered the smoke alarm that way.
And was anyone in the security room when that alarm went off?
This place only has one employee, and that's Judy Bound, the manager. And she was at the reception desk across the security room the whole time since the gallery opened.
So she heard the alarm from across the way and turned on the sprinklers?
Yep, seems they can only be switched on manually and only from there. One more thing, it's freezing in here. This isn't the autumn wing, it's the deep midwinter wing. I checked the temperature, it's 26.5 degrees in here, sir.
Why is the autumn wing being kept at the same temperature as the winter wing?
I'll let you know if I find anything else, sir.
Yeah, that is great to see you here. You're looking as fresh-faced as ever.
Yeah, long time no see. Larry, right?
So here's the deal, okay? I'm Loris right now. You see, I'm also a bit of an artist.
Ah, so it's your alias. I like it. Good to see you, Loris.
I have some questions for you, Larry. What the? How am I a suspect? Just because I found the guy doesn't mean I did the crime. I never said you did. I just need you to tell us what you saw. You said you saw something awful. How so exactly?
Oh god, Larry's gonna hide something really stupid, isn't he?
We know Larry at this point, he is going to. Look, I didn't see anything, I didn't do anything, okay?
Why? What are you hiding for?
When something smells, it's usually the butts. We've been saying that about Larry for 26 years now.
Oh god, it's my chest. Forgot about this.
Our aim is to uncover anything that Larry might be hiding. I didn't see anything, I didn't do anything, and you can't prove otherwise. It's almost impossible for him to keep his cool. I need to bide my time when he gets agitated. And wait for him to calm down. He shouldn't prove to be too much of a challenge. Let's get this over with.
Boo.
Why exactly did you come to the gallery today? What kind of question is that? What, you think I don't belong in a gallery or something? Hey, if you're gonna ignore me, then I'm gonna paint your portrait. And when I'm done, I'll scribble all over it. I'm joking, okay? I never scribble on one of my pieces. How could I? They're all valuable artworks. According to you, perhaps. I imagine I might struggle to agree. Oh, laugh it up, funny guy. Long as some people actually believe in my work. Just admit it. Admit that your testimony is riddled with inconsistencies.
Really, it was another bite? He didn't seem as agitated that time.
What do you mean, Edgy? Why are you always gonna say stuff like that? I didn't think it would upset you so badly. I should watch what I say. She's called Lulu, okay? And she says my pictures are masterpieces. And so if she likes something, I'll draw it for her. Anything at all. And where's this Lulu? How come you're here alone? What, a guy can't be part of his girlfriend for 1 second? I have my own life too, you know? Fine, Lulu said she's a Gemini, okay? So I thought I could do a sketch of the statue to show it on our date. And I expect you're pretty proud of this sketch. Not so much this time, actually. But, you know, it's being her side and all. I just thought maybe she might kind of like it. What gives, Edgy? If you don't have anything to ask, let me get back to my sketching. Okay, so that's a failure then. Just ignore me with it blathering for too long. That's it, you billed me for the last time. I'm done talking to you. Curses. How very likely for you to try and tell me nothing and give so much away in the process. So to summarize, you came here today to draw a sketch of the Gemini statue for your girlfriend, Lulu. But what? How do you figure that all out? You literally told us. From your incessant prattling. You just can't help yourself, can you? Fine, then I won't say another word. Alright, tell me what you did once you arrived here. What's the big idea? Why are you staring at me like that? I remember. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I didn't know what was where. I just kind of hung around by the fountain. You didn't receive a pamphlet when you paid your entrance fee at the reception desk? Huh? You mean entry isn't that free to get in here? Oh my god. You mean to tell me that you enter without paying?
Detective Gumshoe, arrest this man!
I'm sorry, okay? It was deliberate. There wasn't anybody at the reception desk is all. Oh, so I thought entry must be free. You're saying Miss Bound wasn't at the reception desk at the time? Yeah, but it looked like there was maybe somebody in the little room opposite. Interesting. According to Detective Gumshoe, Miss Bound had to enter the security room to activate the sprinkler system. I expect she wasn't at the reception desk because she was busy responding to the incident. The Winter Wing, the gallery's greatest attraction, it's gonna be ruined now! You say you don't have a pamphlet, and yet you seem to know all about the Winter Wing. For example, that a Gemini statue came here for. The drawer just so happens to be in said room. Therefore, it was your intention to visit the Winter Wing all along, wasn't it? Oh! How did you get me again? Fine, you're right. I came here for the Gemini statue. And yeah, I came here to visit with the Winter Wing. I won't deny it.
I'm done with you. Go home.
Larry, be honest. Did you enter the Winter Wing? What is that? Is that suspicion I see in your eyes? I tried to get in there, sure, but... You tried to get in, but you couldn't. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to get in there, but... That old guy came out and fell onto the ground, and that's not the Winter Wing, though. Like I said, it was pretty shocking. So you were unable to enter the Winter Wing because the victim emerged and collapsed in front of you. Yeah, he came out of the Winter Wing door, and then down he went. Larry seems to have the Autumn Wing and Winter Wings mixed up. Regardless, it seems his aim really was to make a sketch of one of the statues. What do you see in the Winter Wing, Larry? You don't let up, do you? I told you I didn't see anything. Galleries are nice and all, but I kinda changed my mind once I got here. Thought I'd go meet my girlfriend instead. Didn't you say you came here to make a sketch of one of the statues for your girlfriend? You came up on that a little easily, didn't you? Surely you saw something, if you were distracted by the victim's collapse. Well, I did not see something. But that doesn't prove that I did see something totally terrifying either, does it? Really, Larry? You could at least try to make this a little harder for me. I put it to you, Larry Butts, that you did, in fact, see something totally terrifying.
You know, I just thought of something. Edgeworth is like, this was a piece of cake. This was easy. Larry is the only one who we failed mind chess with.
Yes. Fine, I guess there's no point trying to keep it a secret any longer. I'm not sure there's much point in you trying to keep any secrets, given your track record. That's checkmate. I just couldn't help staring at that Gemini statue. My eyes were drawn to it. You keep talking about a Gemini statue, but there's no way you saw what you think you saw. It's simply not possible. What do you mean? You think I saw a ghost statue or something? Take a look at this pamphlet. The Autumn Wing feature sculpt is depicting Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. Not only that, but I've seen that the statue depicting Gemini in the Winter Wing for myself. Which means that whatever you saw, it can't have been the statue of Gemini. Yes, that makes sense. It did seem pretty weird now that I think about it. One of the people did look like a goddess. So the other stuff, I guess that wasn't my imagination either. Other stuff? You're interested in it too, aren't you, Edgy? Great, let me show you. But I'm still not that confident in my work, so,
Larry, this is going to be this case-saving thing.
What on earth? It's grotesque. Actually, that's pretty well drawn.
Yeah, actually it is. Holy shit. I have to say, Maurice, it's pretty scary.
It was supposed to be a statue of Gemini, but it up and turned into a goddess right before my eyes. It freaked me out so bad, I screamed out loud. So he wasn't reacting to the victim collapsing in front of him after all. Wait, when you say it turned into a goddess, what do you mean exactly? What do you mean, what do I mean? The bottom half was suddenly a fish. That's what I mean. Yes, Edgeworth speaking. I'm just about done in here, sir. There's no danger from the gas anymore. You can come in now. Thanks. Good work, detective.
Come on, let's go take a look. I want to see this Pisces statue.
You're going in there, Kay? And maybe I should come along too. Did you really think I was going to leave you out here on your own? I know better than that. Okay, so first off I found a blowtorch. And also it was still warm when I found it, so I guess it was used pretty recently. Was the stepladder already like that when you entered? I don't think it was blood. I think there was a hidden material inside the statue, and the blowtorch, you know, got the chemical or whatever it was into getting it into its gaseous form. Yeah, I guess it was used by whoever let out the gas. The gas was inside the case until someone opened the lid.
Okay, oh my god. From the back, Kay's hair looks just really tall. Like, taller than usual, honestly.
The Pisces statue. You know what the one in the other case is too. This is the Autumn Wing, so I imagine it should be Capricorn. Guess there's no fooling you, Sam. I thought it was supposed to be Taurus. That weird cloth that straight around it kinda tripped me up.
Isn't that a piece of luminous cloth from way back when? What's that doing here?
It seems there's a piece of luminous cloth on each of the other cases too.
Yeah, and that just makes me want to see what's hiding underneath real bad.
Sure, let me whip them all right out for you.
Wow, they're beautiful.
Ooh. So the transformation Larry witnessed, could it have been the moment when the cloth around the Pisces statue lower half fell away?
My hunch is that somebody deliberately tried to make this room look just like the Winter Wing.
Even cover the statues up just in such a way as to make them look similar. I'd say we need to take a closer look at things in here, wouldn't you, Fender?
Well, Gusto got even more suspicious because he was the one in here.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Mr. Winner, Judge Gavelle.
Why are you here? Ugh, what the heck are you guys doing here? You're the last thing I need. This is my scene, you hear?
Mr. Edgeworth, it seems I have failed in my duty yet again. I pray one day to make you see that your presence is not required at every crime scene, and that co-opting the good detective for your own ends is neither right nor good. I will have to give serious consideration as to how the goddess of justice would have me to judge you.
You got it all wrong. It was me who asked Miss Edgeworth to help, not the other way around.
It was? Well then, you know what that means, Detective Flatfoot.
Oh, you mean...
Exactly. Your salary check is taking a hint. Bet you're looking forward to payday now. I always wanted to say that.
I was simply assisting with the police's investigation as a witness and bystander. Detective Gumshoe's entirely in the right.
Oh, he is, huh? So you're saying I should give him a bonus instead? No.
That's not what I'm saying at all. The goddess of justice has conferred her blessings on Eustace, and Eustace alone. By which you mean this is Mr. Winner's case.
That's exactly what she means. It's time for the warm-up act to get off the stage. After all, I solved this one already. I have a suspect lined up and everything. Oh, this should be good.
What, you say a suspect already? Who?
Is it Larry?
Let me guess, it's Missbound.
Is it Larry?
Oh my, don't blame Larry already.
I fucking called it.
Who else but your artist friend over there?
Huh? Me? What's going on, Edgy?
Your guess is as good as mine. I can't even begin to imagine how the boy's mind works.
It's surprising that you lack the attitude to understand the winning mindset. I'm curious on any of your thoughts on this one, Winner.
Lack the attitude? That tells me he doesn't know the real winning turn of phrase. Well put, Eustace. Mr. Edgeworth does indeed lack a certain aptitude.
Before we came here, we dropped by the medical room to ask the doctor there a few questions. And he told me where the poison gas came from. Oh, goody.
And where might that have been?
It was, it's this chemical you find everywhere. Can't think of the name just now, though. Wait a second. Let me just call him real quick. Oh my god.
The gas was created by mixing two specific chemicals, ubiquium and asphyxium.
What kind of chemicals are they?
Ubiquium is a red liquid used in all manner of everyday products. Paint and dishwashing liquids, among various others. On its own, it's entirely benign. So it's something anyone could get their hands on. Precisely. But the same cannot be said for asphyxium. It is the main ingredient in a product called Infesticide Ultra.
Damn, look at that.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That's a hell of an image!
It is pure white in color and is unavailable to the average consumer.
So the source of the gas, ubiquium, is used in paint and stuff, right? And there was somebody here at the gallery today who brought paints with them. Your friend, the artist!
You can't accuse me just because of that.
Objection to the paints on the palette in your hand!
Is this kid okay? He seems a little,
Even Larry's like, what is wrong with him? Oh god.
Hey!
Winner's winning deduction!
Yeah!
Our friend the artist here won the race to find the victim, and was first on the scene, correct? And the gas the victim was poisoned with is made from ubiquium, which, as we know, is found in paint. He was carrying paint on his person, and he was one winning stride away from the victim, which surely makes him the winner on our list of suspects. Right, Gavelle? You think so too, right?
It is a possibility that certainly can be discounted. You believe red paint at the scene of the crime, or something more sinister. A catalyst for a cloud of toxic gas, perhaps?
I think I might have left my heart there, you know, and you might have picked it up.
Oh my god, Larry. Does he even have enough paint on him to have done all that?
No, I doubt it.
Look at all of this, that would be paint. Look at the bottom corner there. That is so much paint.
I would be careful what you say to me. Ignore him, please, Your Honor. It's for the best.
You can't run away from the fact that my reasoning is flawless.
That's where we need to present the other thing.
Objection!
Your deductions are anything but winning, I'm afraid. Unless you're looking to win a prize for incoherence.
So you agree that I deserve a prize?
Oh my god!
The gas came from within the case containing the sculpture of Pisces. The gas is created when ubiquium is mixed with another substance, asphyxion. Paint containing ubiquium alone wouldn't create any kind of gas at all.
It wouldn't? I thought they said that the guy was asphyxiated with ubiquium.
So you're telling me all this was based on a mishearing of the forensics report?
Yeah.
Before you go any further, You might wish to consider some of the flaws in your own statements. Firstly, that you cannot prove your artist friend did not enter the Autumn Wing. And secondly, that you cannot prove the red paint did not have something to do with the crime. But the paint isn't important on its own, surely. What's important is the combination of the red ubiquium and white asphyxion. How exactly were the two substances introduced to one another? Surely we need to figure that out before anything else. And that is what Eustace will be investigating next. Or what he would already be investigating had you not been here making needless trouble. We are not here to make trouble, quite the opposite. That we're here to help.
Are you saying you know how the gas was made? I don't believe you.
I can certainly point you toward a vital clue as to how it was done. Red plus white equal pink.
Oh.
Take that!
I just thought it was more blood. You're saying this somehow shows us how the chemicals were mixed to make the poison gas?
That's exactly what I'm saying, yes. Thank you for noticing. The red tears Mr. Bott saw, that was the ubiquium. The red tears alone would not have been enough to create the gas. They must have mixed it with something else inside that case.
Take that!
Observe the pool of pink liquid beneath the Pisces statue glass case. This clearly shows that the two chemicals mixed.
Wait, I don't get it. How does that prove that some ubiquium mixed with some asphyxium?
What happens when you mix red with white? An idiot knows that red and white mix pink. I mean, there's variations. You got your rose pinks and your baby pinks. You see what I'm getting at now, Mr. Winner?
Oh! I think I do! Ubiquium is red, asphyxium is white. Mix the two together, and you get pink! That's what the pink liquid is!
Yes, very good. You got there in the end. We cannot know for sure that this shows the result of the two chemicals having mixed. Besides, the sketch you are intending to enter as evidence was drawn by a suspect. How can we possibly hope to rely on its veracity? Hey, I drew everything exactly as I saw it. A true artist never lies or embezzles the truth. You have no idea, Larry. You may rest assured, Your Honor, that I mean to prove my theory to all of our satisfaction. How can you prove that this man did not enter the Autumn Wing? Until you are able to, there's little more to discuss. Now, if you don't mind, Eustace needs to carry out his own investigation of this area. For the presiding judge's sake, I pray to the goddess that you need not ever be summoned to testify. Oh, he's had to testify before. Now then, is there something you wish to say, Mr. Artist? If you could hold that pose for a moment there, Miss Ice Queen. I'm Justice Verity Gavelle, and I would be grateful if you would dispense with the childish epithets. If you could stop wasting the court's time, Mr. Deaksnam. Oh yeah, sorry, it's just, there's something I forgot to mention. The door was locked. I tried to open it and then the old guy came tumbling out. Your proof, your statement carries little weight, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Well, as it happens, I can back our pal here up on that.
What?
Yep, he tried to come in here too, but it's just like the guy said, it was locked up tight. Ain't that so, Miles Reno?
It is, I seem to remember how it went. Prior to the incident with the gas, it was not possible to enter this room from the outside. What is to say that your suspicious friend was not in here with the victim the entire time? The fact that he didn't suffer the ill effects of the gas. I see. I suppose we'll have to take you at your collective word. Well, Judge Gavelle, do you accept that Mr. Butts is no longer a viable suspect? And that once again Mr. Winner's deductions had fallen short of the mark?
I really don't want to have to defend Larry. What are you talking about? I just need some more information, that's all. You know, it's not cool for a prosecutor to be saying stuff like that, right?
Very well. Then perhaps we should call our next suspect. Who exactly is this next suspect? The pharmacist Alicia Scone. Your artist friend may have struggled to lay his hands on a bottle of Infesticide Ultra, but someone in her line of work would surely have a better idea where such a thing might be acquired.
I mean, that is true.
Eustace, we will go and fetch the suspects. The winning smile will bring her running, I am sure.
My winning? Of course, Gavelle! Let's go get her at once. Hey, Detective Flatfoot, you carry on investigating while I'm gone, okay?
Sure.
They sure are taking their time. I thought this was supposed to be a 10-minute recess. Sorry to keep you losers waiting. But wait no longer. I won the race to find Alicia Scone. And here she is.
Hello, dears. This lovely young man said you wanted to speak with me. Alicia Scone, purveyor of the most wondrous wares a pharmacist can offer, at your service.
Why are you dressed literally the same? You can call me the winner, and I'll call you whatever I want.
Damn. All right, Winnie Pooh, whatever you say. It's lovely to meet you, dearie.
Okay, they really just felt like being lazy with her.
They really did.
Or she's an immortal, ageless, eldritch being that loves candy.
Well, she is British, so...
Good point.
Eustace, I believe we have some questions for our pharmacist.
Oh yeah, what brings you to the gallery today, Miss Scone?
Why, I came to see the old moody Judy, of course. We've been fast friends for 18 long years, and no one's going to stop me visiting her. I understand that you helped look after Mr. Cousteau in the immediate aftermath of the attack. Oh, I didn't do much, really. Just whipped up the quick antidote for the dear old doctor.
Wow! You can make an antidote just like that?
Oh, yes, dear. As long as I have the right ingredients, I can put together just about any medicine you like.
And do you know the victim, Miss Delicious?
Oh, yeah. Well, sorta. It's been 18 years since I last saw him. Apparently, he's famous these days. One of the best confectioners in the world, or so they say.
Wow, he really moved up in the world.
Well, I guess when there's no, competition.
Interesting. So he's a well-known public figure.
Oh, yes, dear. He was on the news and everything. Confectionery crafting king of the world, they said.
Wow, so the old dog really went to Zhang Fa and upped his game, just like he said he would.
Perhaps if we could proceed to the matter at hand. Miss Scone, are you familiar with this substance known as Infesticide Ultra? Of course, dear. You use it to get rid of you-know-whats. Oh, it's awfully strong, though. That's why they don't sell it in the shops.
Oh, I get it. Those.
Thank you, Miss Scone. One more question, if you don't mind. Are you aware what happens when the chemicals Axphysion and Ubicium are combined? Oh, yes. It's right there in the Infesticide Ultra instructions. Do not mix with products containing Ubicium. Ever. Because if you do, they react with each other and make a horrible poisonous gas. What was it again? Effects of inhalation include respiratory complications and, death. And poor Gusty very nearly didn't make it. To mix that much gas, you need, probably 500 milliliters of each chemical, I'd say. Ubicium's awfully thick and sticky, and it heats up very quickly indeed. It's also bright red and smells minty fresh. Oh, and cheap as chips. That's why they use it in everything. Asphyxion's more watery, and it's white in color. That will do, thank you. You're clearly well informed, Miss Scone. As far as I should be, dearie. After all, Infesticide Ultra is made by the company I work for. Oh, but before you get the wrong idea, they don't go around handing out free samples.
What is it, Detective Flatfoot? Any developments to report?
Turns out the sculpture's glass display case opens from the top.
Huh, that's rather unusual.
And the temperature inside can be adjusted too, all the way down to 0 degrees. They found something on the underside of the top part of the Pisces case. Trace of Ubicium.
That's odd. If there's Ubicium stuck to it, it should have stayed stuck. After all, at 26 degrees, it would have been frozen solid.
It would, huh? So, how did things wind up as they are now?
I think Kay might be able to help us figure out just that. Or at least Mr. Thief might.
Oh, you guys are that desperate to get on my good side, huh? Fine, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but take it away.
Overruled.
Before you get too carried away, the goddess of justice has no need of your help. We will find the truth ourselves.
Ouch! Why so frosty, Judge G? Your baby prosecutor just gave us the big thumbs up. What's the issue here? Oh, wait, don't tell me the committee has some dirty little secret it doesn't want us finding out.
I am not required to explain myself to you, but if you feel that you absolutely must participate in the investigation, perhaps you can prove to me that it will be worth our while to keep you around. Who triggered the release of the poison gas? If you can answer this question, I will consent to your participation in the investigation.
It was the samurai.
Carmelo Gusto.
Take that!
The victim, Carmelo Gusto, is the only person to have entered the Autumn Wing. Thus, only he could have opened the case.
Correct. That appears to be the only logical answer.
All right, Mr. Edgeworth, tell me what you want to see.
Let's use the data we've collected to recreate the scene before the poison gas went off.
I love the animation.
Yep.
Don't scare me like that.
This is what you were talking about, your Mr. Thief.
It steals the truth.
There's a generous amount of Ubicium frozen to the underside of the top part of the case.
Yeah, which is what's keeping that lid on real tight.
The actual glass lid is all cracked though, right? Somebody really went to town on your little house there, Pisces.
And do we have any idea how the glass lid might have come to be so cracked?
Well, it doesn't look like the outer face inside the glass suffered any damage.
Blowtorch.
Yeah.
Heat up the top, it cracked it.
Yeah.
Which also would release the Ubiquium because it would have heated it up.
Ice cold. As you think of the way you glare at people, sir.
Cracks! Make me think about those deeply etched lines on your forehead.
It was cracked by heat expansion. Applying heat to ice cold glass from the outside will cause it to crack.
Huh. Well, I appreciate the science lesson. But why is it all heat cracked in the first place?
How did Mr. Gusteau open the case? With the heater?
The
Take
blowtorch.
that!
The blowtorch showed signs of having been used recently when it was found here in the autumn wing. I think it's likely that it was used on the glass lid, causing it to crack.
Oh, I get it. Mr. Gusteau was trying to melt the frozen requiem so he could open the lid.
Mr. Gusteau was alone in the autumn wing, and while he was in here, he used this blowtorch to melt the frozen ubiquium on the underside of the lid. As ubiquium melted, it mixed with the asphyxion that was already present inside the glass case. These were made by Frost back in the day. Oh, these are trying to be recreations, right? But these could actually be made by the original Frost.
But he's dead, and we saw his stuff was melted.
Or moved. When Mr. Gusteau had finally managed to open the lid, he would have released the gas and poisoned himself. He made it as far as the fountain room where he collapsed.
But why the heck-a-doodle-doo did he want to open the case in the first place?
I'm not sure. In fact, we don't even know what his ultimate goal was.
I'm thinking he might have come here for the same reason I did. To check out not the autumn wing, but the winter wing.
Caught you out too, did it? My little Eddie Lumpkin? It was ever so confused. Well, with it being where Chili Wing's room was all those years ago.
Everyone involved with the IS-7 incident make the same mistake.
Eureka! Ladies and gentlemen, I have an answer! The man was going to end it all! A dramatic exit stage left, sort of artsy-fartsy farewell. Have you been listening at all this whole time? At my level, I barely need to listen to a word, and I still understand exactly half of what's going on.
Oh my god.
I took the liberty of investigating our friendly pink pharmacist here. Or rather, I had one of my underlings do it for me. Ugh. That's nothing to brag about, you know. Shut up! Can't you see I'm talking? It was Miss Delicious who set up the poison gas trap.
How could you say that? I was greatly saddened to learn of this, Miss Scone. Your profession is one dedicated to saving lives, and you used your expertise to try and take one.
I like the idea that she's just kind of reacting and making all this shit up on the spot in this situation.
Perhaps you could explain, Mr. Winner?
This is Miss Delicious pharmacist license.
Oh.
And it says it right here that she's authorized to handle Infesticide Ultra.
I didn't do it. This is all just a terrible misunderstanding.
Objection!
And that's not all. There was a bottle of Infesticide Ultra in the victim's pocket. And what do you know? It's covered in your fingerprints.
What?
We know that you and Ms. Bound took the victim to the medical room. What better moment to slip the bottle into his pocket, hmm? You know, this is probably the smartest thing he said so far.
Yeah.
There was only one person on the premises licensed to carry Infesticide Ultra, and that was you, Miss Scone. No, dear. Listen, you don't understand. That Infesticide Ultra was stolen from me. Lying will only lengthen your sentence, Miss Scone. I'm not lying. Oh, it's in my bag somewhere. I'm sure of it. That's not it. And that's not it.
Why? Why do you have that?
Ah, here we go. I knew it was in here somewhere. Look.
April 1st, complaint filed, offense theft. Item stolen, Infesticide Ultra, 1 bottle. It's a crime report relating to a theft.
See you, silly billies. I told you somebody pinched it off me. A week ago, no less.
A week ago?
But you said April 1st. It's literally the 2nd.
Why did you first file it then?
What you mean to say? It was not in your possession at any point today. That's exactly what I mean to say. I think the bottle you found might be the one I lost.
Gavelle, what do I do now?
I think perhaps it might be wise to confirm the authenticity of the crime report, just to be safe.
Good idea. All right, I'm gonna go give the precinct a call. Don't go anywhere. So who do you think did it, Smiles?
Someone with knowledge of the victim's likely behavior, and time and the means to prepare.
It is Gusteau, the samurai.
I think it's gonna be Bound.
I don't see what her motivation would be at all.
Revenge?
I mean, that would imply that Gusto's the one who killed Frosty, so...
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I'm going to make this trap, and Gusto is going to try to break into the Winter Wing and fry the case for some reason with a blowtorch. How do you predict that?
Yeah, I'm very curious about that too. 2 factors there which point to one very specific person. Surely one only Miss Bound, the proprietor of these premises, could possibly have prepared in such a way. We'll need some more solid evidence to support such a theory nonetheless. Strange, it's like you already knew.
I'm back with results. The police have confirmed that the theft really was reported and logged, which means we may have been a little hasty with some of our conclusions, team.
You mean that every single one of your conclusions proved to be hogwash?
No! I mean, we're only just getting started.
Oh, then what's our next move?
First we need to go and talk to Miss Bound. And then I'll think about what to do after that.
Mr. Cousteau's real destination appears to have been the Winter Wing. Perhaps it would be worth having someone investigate that room more thoroughly?
Flatfoot! Go investigate the Winter Wing.
Yes, sir.
Gavelle, we're going to talk to Miss Bound.
Very good, Eustace.
All right, you have your orders. Go talk to Bound for me. Oh my god. Huh, there's something in the fountain. It's a body!
What the fuck? What on earth? Order in the court. Somebody call forensics.
Bad news, sir. Real bad news.
Order. I will have order, detective.
The ice sculptures in the Winter Wing.
Oh my god.
They've all melted.
What did? Huh?
Say? All of Mr. Frost's work destroyed. Mr. Von Karma wasn't very happy. He had told us to get out, in no uncertain terms. Now, we may not be able to investigate Mr. Frost's room as hoped. That doesn't mean we give up.
Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you look like you could use a little pick-me-up. Oh, she had a hell of a glow-up in the 18 years.
She really did.
I'm afraid this is all I have, but please, by all means. Whoa, you're the best, Miss Bound. Handmade by Bound.
Oh, thank you. Little sugar boost might actually help, although these are a little too sweet for my liking. A little uniquely shaped.
Imagine, me of all people, a mediocre confectioner. What? You mean you made these yourself? Yes, Samson loves chocolate, so I had to learn. Keeping him supplied with his favorite treats is just one of my many duties.
It seems you're quite committed to the work you do for Mr. Tangora, Miss Bound.
Of course! What right would I have to stay here otherwise? What do you mean by that? I was abandoned as a baby and Mr. Tangora took me in when he was like 26. No, 23. That's right! One snowy Christmas Eve, many years ago, he found me on the steps of this very mansion. That's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah.
He saved my life and became the father I never had. I can never repay him. So my work for him is the least I can do. And I'll be here for him as long as he needs me. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
I must be getting old. I'm welling up a little myself.
And to think today is Christmas Eve, and I can't even give him his present in person. I'd do anything to save him. Anything, including killing Von Karma. Please do it.
Perhaps you could help us by answering a question. Did you know the victim?
Not very well, I'm afraid. Oh, but if you wanted to see some of his work, I have a picture of the sculptures he made for the final.
My, they're stunning.
Aren't they? I think they're masterpieces. Who would have thought you could make such intricate structures out of flavored ice? Samson adored them too. Take Gemini, for example. See the lyre? That's what the harp is called. And the arrow and the... Hold up, the lyre doesn't have any strings. Huh, did Mr. Frost forget to add them maybe? That doesn't sound like something he'd forget to do. Wait, really? But I thought you just said you didn't know him very well. Oh, well, he didn't seem like the type.
Ah, you took this photograph yourself, Miss Bound.
Yes, I used this instant camera here. Then why don't I take your picture? Yes, come on, Mr. E. Let's get a shot of both of us.
Well, all right then. You'll be ashamed to waste a good hair day.
We get to see the picture? There, all done, and the picture's yours to keep, Mr. Fender. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's such a cool camera. Well, it's the only one we've got, so we use it for all our picture-taking needs. It's very convenient, but the lack of negatives is something of a shame.
Hasn't Mr. Tangora used the same camera during the contest?
Yes, you assume correctly. He used it for some work-in-progress pictures on his seascape.
But didn't you take a picture of the body when you discovered it?
Eek! Snap. Eek!
And didn't you discover the body while the judging was still underway? Yeah, that does seem pretty weird.
Ah, yes. Samson wanted pictures of all the entrance completed room. But the film ran out just as he finished photographing Mr. Gusto's work. So he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. He seemed to think there should have been more shots left than there were. I went to a living area to change the film and was passing through the fountain room on my way back when I heard the sound of something break and collapse in Samson's room. Ah! Snap. Ah!
I'd be grateful if you could lend us the camera in this picture, Miss Bound.
Of course. Here you go. 20 exposures and there's only 3 remaining.
Intriguing.
Got a pretty good look at the scene. As for Gusto, he's enjoying a nice little chat right now in Frost's room about the fact that Miss Bound Said she saw him going in there during the contest.
Mr. Cousteau went into Mr. Frost's room.
That's right, and I have to say, he looked very much like he didn't want to be seen. Well, he's candidate number 1 at the moment, as the guy who melted Frost's work. Got a photo of the room right here. If you need it, it's all yours.
Thank you, Detective Bat.
Well, I haven't the foggiest what y'all are going on about, but here's to your friends, eh?
This is what Frost's rooms look like right now. Yikes, there's nothing left of his favorite ice sculptures but puddles.
Assume that the unplugged power cord has something to do with all of this.
Yeah, once that was out of the socket, the display case has lost power. Those sculptures were beautiful. What a waste.
You can say that again. I should have taken a few more bites out of them while I had the chance.
So they tasted good?
Did they ever? I never tried ice so scrumptious in all my life. Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable. Salty bit?
Gemini's liar.
Wait, that's why it had no strings? Because you ate them?
I didn't eat that much, you cheeky little devil. I told you, it was all horrible and salty.
Is this only one particular part of this particular sculpture that is different from the rest? Did you notice anything else, Miss Scone?
Come to think of it, I did. There was a funny little mark on Chili Wing's work. It was like 2 little letters. Let me see if I can draw it for you. There we go. Yes, it looked like just like that.
Oh.
Huh.
I hope you don't mind me asking, Miss Bound, but are you certain you didn't know Mr. Frost particularly well?
What? No, I barely knew him, I swear.
Is that so? You certainly seem to have some strong opinions about his attitude towards his work.
No, I just, the sculpture was so carefully made. I didn't think he'd miss something so important.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. You have a more personal connection to his work than that. Miss Scone found 2 letters carved into Mr. Frost's eye sculptures. I think they were a signature of sorts.
Chili Wing statues had the letters PH carved in them plain as day.
We have already established that the T set is the work of a sculptor, Paul Halique. From that, we can assume that these same letters would mark any item out as a piece of his work.
He's never revealed his true identity in public, so it's the only way to know his works are truly his.
Ah, but you see, Mr. Frost was in fact none other than the famous sculptor, Paul Halique.
I should have known I couldn't hide it from you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you admit it? You were aware of who Mr. Frost really was?
When I discovered his body, I saw the seal you found. Don't ask me how, but I just knew straight away that he was my dear Paul Halique. Imagine, his entries into the confectionery contest were his final legacy. A great man like that.
And be honest, did you enter Mr. Frost's room at any point? You said yourself that the camera ran out of film during the judging. That you've had charge of the camera since before Mr. Tangora had a chance to visit Mr. Frost's room. That's how you were able to take that picture when you discovered Mr. Frost's body.
I suppose so.
This suggests that you took only 2 pictures with the new film. One of Mr. Frost's body and one of his room. But I have a piece of evidence that says otherwise.
There's only 3 remaining.
Yeah, no, there's only 3 remaining.
Take that!
You gave the pictures of the body to the police and the picture of Mr. Frost's room to me.
Oh, and you gave us that picture you took of me and Mr. Edgeworth too.
3 photographs in total, and yet, the film cartridge in this camera only has 3 exposures remaining. You took more pictures, and I want to know what of.
I confess, I've been lying to you. Huh. These are all shots of Frost's room. Looks like she took the pictures of his work from every possible angle. And when they were taken, the ice still hadn't melted yet. Wait, don't tell me. It was you. It was. At least, I'm pretty sure it was. I think perhaps I was so intent on getting the perfect photographs that I might have tripped over the power cord without noticing.
Oh, that is such a 90s mistake. That seems a little convenient to me. I'm not sure I believe it.
Mr. Edgeworth, picture's yours. Hope it helps. Neato.
Are you infernal nuisances still here? You don't know when to give up.
The little box is gone.
Yeah?
Linger for as long as you like. The answer is still the same. You're not part of this investigation.
Whether we're a part of it or not, we'll uncover the truth nonetheless.
It seems you don't know when to shut up either. But I commend you on your stubbornness.
I'm afraid I'm the one responsible for Mr. Frost's work melting.
What? What is the meaning of this?
I'm so sorry. And to you, Mr. Gusto.
No concern of mine.
I am a samurai.
I didn't do anything. And Mr. Von Karma agrees.
Nothing at all, Mr. Gusto. You went into Mr. Frost's room, didn't you? Perhaps you could tell us why.
Sure, I was... Silence! You are not to give the attorney even the tiniest thread of information. Judy Bound, you're coming with me. I have a reason to believe that you are an accomplice of the accused, Samson Tangora. I will be interrogating you personally, so you had better get your story in order. Bart, Gusto, and you, Scone. I have questions for all of you, and I expect answers.
Oh my god, he even walks like a samurai! He took literally everyone with him.
Indeed. I suppose that means there's little point in us hanging around either. Perhaps it's time we get going anyway. It is rather late.
Guess my stomach's in agreement too.
Alright, let's go grab a burger. Before my own stomach starts grumbling too.
Sounds good to me. Let's eat up and rest up. We'll need to be fighting fit for tomorrow.
We will indeed, and our first port of call will be with Mr. Tangora.
Hey, it's Miss Bound. Oh, Mr. Fender! Mr. Edgeworth!
Looks rather tired. Has Mr. Von Karma finished interrogating you?
Yes, though he really only seemed interested in how I melted those sculptures. Are you here to see Mr. Tangora too? Yes, I'm terribly worried about him.
Detective Bad? What are you doing back there?
Oh, just happened to be here. I'll be heading back to the scene soon.
Good morning.
He looks traumatized.
Yep, and his hair is white now.
Mr. Tangora, what happened to you? Oh no, Samson! What did they do to you?
They didn't seem to want to let me sleep. I had no idea interrogations could be so involved. Sorry if I seem distracted. I think I'm a little tired. It was Detective Bad who got me out of there. I'd still be in that interrogation room right now. If it weren't for him. Detective Bad really is trying to look out for Mr. Tangora. In his own way, it seems. Mr. Tangora, we found out quite a bit if you'd like to hear it. Of course, thank you.
Are you alright, Mr. Tangora? You seem kinda spaced out.
I'm fine, I think my blood sugar might be running a little low. Huh? Is that chocolate? For me? I wish I could just give them to you, Mr. Tangora, but the rules here don't exactly allow me to do so. Oh, that's a shame. But rules are rules, I suppose.
Let me take a look at them. If they seem legit, I might consider passing them on to the suspect.
Thank you, Detective Ban.
Here.
You don't know how much this means to me.
Yeah. Keep it down, will ya? For both our sakes.
Oh, the sweetness! I feel like a man reborn! Ha ha! Where are your handiwork, Judy?
Yes, how were they? Oh, God.
Feel the melt, soft and smooth, chocolate that'll comfort and soothe, ear to ear, head to toe. Smile and savor the taste as it flows. They're not exactly beautiful, but they're sweet and oh, so flavorful. Thank you, Judy.
I'm so glad you like them. Please, no more singing.
My apologies, friends.
Apparently 3 pieces of candy fixes him from at least 1 night of not sleeping.
That must be a lot of sugar.
Probably minimal eating as well.
The food they serve here is just so flavorless. Between that and the lack of sleep, I was about ready to collapse from sheer despair.
Wow, is the food here really all that bad? Just the usual, French fries, ham sandwich, stuff like that.
Yes, and yet I couldn't taste a thing. Before you go, Detective, do you have any new information to share?
Oh, yeah. You were right about the victim's identity. Frost worked as a sculptor in France, where he was known as Paul Harlequin. So the famous French sculptor wasn't a Frenchman after all, huh? Oh, at least they used this animation again. He was busy working on his greatest masterpiece, apparently. Bunch of Zodiac statues. Guess he'll never finish them now. He never finished his greatest masterpiece? Nah, seems he was making statues for each season, but he never got around to the winter constellations. One last thing. Seems he had himself a bit of a spending habit when it came to his work. Every statue cost him millions to make.
Yikes!
Which means he was always strapped for cash. Alright, I really gotta get going.
Understood, Detective. We'll see you again shortly. Now you're going to tell me what about you learned yesterday? Of course. I'm going to give you a full report. Thank you for that. Allow me to apologize on Judy's behalf. It's fine, Mr. Tangora. As I told her yesterday, the important thing is to be learned the truth in the end. Now, would you mind if I ask you a question or two? By all means, I'll gladly share all that I can. What can you tell me about the contestants who took part in the final round of the contest? Let's see. Was Miss Scone? I love her design concept. Unfortunately, her entry was in violation of the rules, so I had to disqualify her. So Gusteau's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design. He's not through the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entry for the final was subpar on both counts. And there's actually something a little unusual about his entry for the semi-final as well, which was, it tastes identical to Mr. Frost's. They may have looked different. I could have sworn I was eating the same thing.
Huh. And what exactly did his work look like?
Oh, there should be a photograph back at my mansion.
I'll show it to you later, Mr. Edgeworth.
But Mr. Frost's entry for the finals, that was truly sublime. Mr. Frost wasn't in his room when I visited, so I took the liberty of sampling a bit. The liar, I believe. I'd never tasted anything like it. It was like a dream. I was so moved that I burst into song. I'm sorry, but you're saying that the liar tasted good. You're quite sure it was the liar you tasted when you sampled Mr. Frost's work? I'm certain of it. It was part of the Gemini sculpture. This was the only sculpture in that display case. Strings were missing because Mr. Tangora ate them all. And he enjoyed them. Scone told us he ate part of the liar as well. But he said it was far too salty for her to finish. But it's true. The truth is, I've suspected for a while that there might be something wrong with my sense of taste. There's a taste disorder characterized by an inability to detect salty flavors. And I suspect I've been suffering from it. Will explain why the food here seems so bland to him. Nevertheless, you should put in a request to the police for proper evaluation. Oh, that won't be necessary. I have a recipe for a cure back in my mansion. What?
What?
You can look at it for yourself if you like.
Samson! We can't show that recipe to just anybody!
Judy, Mr. Edgeworth is hardly just anybody. He's my attorney. I have no secrets from him. What on earth is this secret recipe for a miracle cure that they have been hiding?
Well, I suppose I should be getting back.
Judy, there's more to life than just me. Please, Judy, think about a life you want to live, because I won't always be around.
Don't say that! Without you, I don't have a life to live! So I'll be waiting, right there at the mansion, until you come home. Wait, Miss Bound! Whoa, she seemed really upset. I thought I saw tears in her eyes.
She can't keep putting my needs ahead of her own. The Harlequin collection, the candy making, it's all because she thinks these things will make me happy. Never thinks about what she wants, what she likes. I just want her to be her own person, and to choose her own destiny. The last thing I want is for her to miss out on all that life has to offer because of me. You're a good father figure.
He's not a father figure, he's just a good father.
He really does see her as his own child.
I would hope so. He's raised her for 16 years.
I think I've asked of you everything I can for now, Mr. Tangora. We should be getting back to the scene of the crime. Oh, you're leaving? I see.
Back to the torture that is interrogation. We'll be back to brief you, Mr. Tangora, every day. And Judy, too.
Thank you, Eddie. I look forward to it. Mr. Bad, thank you again for what you did earlier.
Huh, what are you talking about? There's no need to be shy about it. You big tsundere, you. Never mind that now. I'm guessing you two are back here, looking to investigate some more.
We are indeed. We'll need something solid if we are to go in to save Mr. Tangora.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but apart from this room, the whole place is on lockdown. Haven't seen the autopsy report yet either. Guy's probably got a hand in that too. And don't expect to speak with anybody, except us cops and Miss Bound.
Detective, may we conduct a brief investigation of this area?
Sure. But like I said, everywhere else is off bounds. You probably won't be seeing those rooms again.
Gain investigation.
Yay. But first, a fantastic joke. It feels like forever since I've done one.
Oh boy.
So Mthis, why do lazy cats not get anything done on time?
Why do lazy cats not get anything done on time? Oh, I don't have anything on mind that would fit with lazy. Oh, that's a hard one.
It's because they won't stop procrastinating. I can't say the word.
Why did you say procrastinating? Oh, God. Excuse me, may I ask what you're investigating?
Sir, I'm analyzing the fountain water to see what might be in it, sir. And what did you find? Chocolate and what looks like a kind of flavoring and coloring used in frozen desserts, sir. The composition of the chocolate seems to be the same as that of Mr. Tangora's work, and the flavoring and coloring match the profile of those used in Mr. Frost's ice sculptures. Those little rivers flow from all four artists' rooms right here to this fountain. Guess that's how the stuff from the melted sculptures wound up here. And that's not all, sir. We also found blood. What? Why is there blood in the water?
Think back to our investigation of the murder scene, Detective. I get a feeling someone tossed that piece into the water. The victim's blood was mysteriously absent, as was the part of the chocolate chest it had pooled on. I think that the blood probably belonged to Mr. Frost.
Yeah, he was literally the one there in the picture. No, it was Carmelo Gusto. He is a samurai. Huh, the victim, huh? I'll have the guy compare it with the blood on the murder weapon.
The fuck is that sound?
When have they used that kind of sound effect before? Whatever, it's a map. The blood in the fountain is Frost's.
But why would someone want to send the victim's blood downstream and into a fountain like this?
I hate the two of you are here. I found the photograph of the semifinal entries for you. Here, it's all yours.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see why Scone or Gustos and Frost were the same.
Yeah.
They're very, very identical to each other.
Very, very similar.
Wow, Miss Scone sure knows how to make a cute cake. As a pharmacist. Yeah, Samson loved her design for that one. And he loved the design and flavor of Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost entries too. Only problem was, as Samson mentioned earlier, they tasted exactly the same. However, their respective entries for the final taste nothing alike, it seems.
Was there anything else of note that changed between the semifinal and the final?
Mr. Gusto's son was always here with him throughout the contest.
Son?
But he was nowhere to be seen during the final.
Oh.
It's his son.
Why would his son come and hang out at a contest? Venue of all places.
Oh, I also have the book containing the recipe for the cure Samson mentioned. What? The cure is in the Ultimate Cookbook? So it's not a book of dessert recipes, I take it? Oh no, we told the contestants, of course. But I guess nobody told you yet.
Huh. It's a pharmaceutical book.
Huh.
Now, I could see why Miss Scone could be interested in that. I'd like to hear more about the cookbook if you don't mind, Miss Bound. So if I understand correctly, doesn't a cookbook is actually a collection of recipes for different medicines?
Exactly! Or rather, totally new medications that haven't been made to market yet, to be precise.
Oh, shit.
To the right buyer, a pharmaceutical company, for example, it'd be worth a fortune. But why make that the grand prize in a confectionery contest? Mr. Tangora is the sole heir to the Tangora family fortune. Perhaps you've heard of the Tangora group? Oh no, he's filthy.
Oh
rich.
no. He's old
Yakuza.
money.
It's a major pharmaceutical corporation. Sells all kinds of pills and poisons. Oh yeah, that new Cold Killer Pro has been making some real waves since it went on sale.
Oh my god, his company makes Cold Killer Pro?
I always reach for a cold killer when I'm feeling under the weather.
Which is never, as far as I've seen.
That's because he carries so much Cold Killer X on him.
So did Mr. Tangora not want to take over for his parents and go into the family business?
No, he preferred the idea of making people's lives better through the power of confectionery. His parents supported him in his quest to become the best in the world. Then, when they passed away, he's inherited the cookbook. His parents passed young. They were killed by Delicia Scone,
Oh, who knows?
who wants the immortality formula in the Angel's cookbook.
And that's why she still has not changed in the future.
He's been hounded by so many people looking to make that book their own. He was tired of it. But it would have been an insult to his parents' memory simply to give it away. Decided to find somebody he felt was worthy of it. I'll bet the board of directors loved that, handing over the fruits of all their expensive research to someone else. They hated the idea, of course, which is why Delicia entered the contest.
So you know she was a pharmacist all along?
Yes, and not only that, I told her how to appeal to Samson's taste. I tried to help her win. I wanted to protect Samson by protecting the Tangora group. If that cookbook fell into another company's hands, the board would never forgive him. So I wanted to find a way to keep it with the company, but in a way that Samson couldn't object to. But Miss Scone wasn't the only one pretending, was she? Mr. Frost wasn't really a confectioner either. And he still made it all the way to the final, just like she did. Not bad. Yes, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Such a talented sculptor and a gifted crafter of desserts, too.
How did one man produce pieces of that size and quality in such a short amount of time?
Well, that was easy.
We know a little more about the contest participants, but there's still one question involving Mr. Gusteau for which we never got an answer. What was he doing in Mr. Frost's room? A confectionery who admits to lacking the science sense, and a sculptor with it in spades. Mr. Gusteau could not have hoped to win such a high-level contest by himself. That's why I'm beginning to wonder if there was some sort of connection between him and Mr. Frost. Were they in cahoots? Need to ask Mr. Gusteau a few more questions. His history still doesn't quite add up for me. Need to figure out how to get in touch with him. Or do you now?
Good luck with that, because I have no intention of allowing it. I will, however, be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Fine. Allow me to take you up on your offer. I'd like you to tell me about the connection between Mr. Gusteau and Mr. Frost.
The connection between Gusteau and Frost. It was simply a matter of coincidence. They both happened to be taking part in the same contest.
That's it?
And that's all?
That's all I have to say to you.
Objection!
I wonder if you could look at the two confections in this foreground for me, Mr. Von Karma. They were made for the contest semi-finals. As the nameplate suggests, these were Mr. Gusteau and Mr. Frost's entries. We learned from another witness that the two entries also tasted exactly the same.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that they were helping one another out. While at first glance the two may appear to be superficially different, it soon becomes apparent that there are significant similarities in how they were put together. They are made of the same ingredients, taste the same, and share a similar design aesthetic. This picture's proof positive that the two were working together.
If you figure that much out, I suppose there's little point in denying it. Let me confirm what you seem so desperate to prove. Gusteau and Frost were indeed working together. Gusteau spelled out the details of his relationship to Frost during his questioning last night. It seems they were helping one another right up until the day before the final.
I need to figure out what he is hiding. I can't let things end like this. But why were they cooperating?
Gusteau's sense of design is subpar. Frost was an amateur confectioner at best. Neither of them stood a chance at making it through the contest alone.
Why cooperate until only the day before the finals?
Gusteau claims to have ended the scheme. And that he wanted to win the final on his own merits. His one and only goal really was to be crowned the world's best confectioner. And his pride would not allow him to do so with the help of another.
Based on Mr. Tangora's assessment, it sounded as if Mr. Frost's entry for the final was the clear winner.
Which means he must have still been working with Mr. Gusteau, right?
I suspect Gusteau sabotaged Frost's sculptures for the taste part of it.
Yes, called it.
Miss Scone is on record as having described Mr. Frost's creations as scrumptious. And while he was certainly skilled, I doubt even he could have become a world-class confectioner overnight. It seems far more likely to me that he and Mr. Gusteau were still cooperating during the finals.
Besides, even amateurs can occasionally make delicious food. As Frost was simply lucky. My wife, for example, is an amateur whose cooking puts first-class chefs to shame.
Okay, first, you have a wife?
I guess he's
And
married.
secondly, you actually love your wife?
Or you are ignoring another crucial part of the pharmacist's testimony. Namely, that she also describes some of Frost's work as having been unbearably salty. In other words, your evidence actually shows that Frost failed to produce the perfect confectionery.
Mr. E? Mr. Frost's entry for the finals would have taken it a while to make? Making flavored water, freezing it all, and then carving two whole sculptures? Could he really have done all that and helped Mr. Gusteau with his work?
And he is right. Mr. Frost would have needed to freeze his own large blocks of flavored ice to create his art. So what must Mr. Frost have done in order to finish his flavored ice entry in a time limit? Must have made the flavored ice the day before, and all would have had to do was sculpt it.
What are you muttering about now?
They were helping one another right up until the day before the final. As you said, the day before the final really did mark the end. Their collaboration. Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which would have needed to lay at least a day to freeze, and whose flavors would therefore have already been prepared by Mr. Gusteau. In that case, why didn't Mr. Frost reciprocate and let Mr. Gusteau in return?
I can hardly be expected to reach the minds of the dead.
Perhaps not, but I imagine Mr. Gusteau could tell us. So why don't you let us speak with him? Give me one good reason as to why you're keeping Mr. Gusteau from me.
See how and via Frost and Gusteau's collaboration has absolutely no bearing on this case.
Objection!
How can you possibly say that with any certainty? Their relations had broken down for some reason. That would very well have been the motive behind this murder. Why did the man who seems so keen on accusing share the details of his collaboration with the prosecution? Mr. Gusteau snuck into Mr. Frost's room. I still don't know why. The fact alone is reason enough to suspect him.
If that's your only concern, then allow me to clear it up for you. Here, take a look at this.
Oh my god.
That's Gusteau and Frost, and their sons. Gusteau snuck into Frost's room in order to retrieve this photograph. Gusteau was concerned at the fact that Mr. Frost, his acquaintance, might place him under undue suspicion. A concern that you have just proved was entirely well-founded. He's never going to let me talk to Mr. Gusteau. Now, if you're kind of done obstructing my investigation, I have things to be getting on with.
We're missing something. Something important. Mr. Von Karma has everything he needs to proceed with the prosecution of Mr. Tangora, yet he still doesn't seem entirely confident of his case. Mr. Frost's blood went missing from the crime scene. Trace of it showed up in the fountain. I go to the trouble of removing the blood from the scene after the body had been discovered. Wait, don't I move the body aside to get to the blood? So the body might have been moved aside, even removed from the scene of the crime entirely. Well, as far as we know, there's still no autopsy report. There's been plenty about the murder weapon and the suspect, but very little about the body itself. Assumption thus far has been the body had been recovered by the forensics team. What if that assumption is false? What if we've been thinking about this the wrong way around all along? The question isn't why did Mr. Von Karma hold back the information about the body? It's did Mr. Von Karma even have any information about the body in the first place? I have a few questions, Mr. Von Karma, about a certain fact you've been keeping from us. Really? You mean to call the members of an officially sanctioned investigation into question yet again? Isn't it on the prosecution to work out who the real culprit of a crime is? My job is to identify suspects and ensure that every last one of them is convicted at all costs. Believe me when I say I leave absolutely no room for doubt when I present my perfect, unassillable cases. How far would you go for your perfect cases? Would you create facts out of whole cloth, perhaps? Ha! And I thought you had outdone yourself already! But now you intend to accuse me of fabricating evidence? I do. You didn't shut him out of the investigation because you wanted him to keep an eye on us. You did it to stop him from finding out that you don't have the body. Ridiculous! You're clutching at straws. I will tolerate no more of your preposterous slander. Prove me wrong, if you can. Tusk. I'm afraid you'll have to try a little harder than that. As you must have seen for yourself a piece of bloody chocolate missing from the scene of the crime. What does it matter? Some blood went missing from the chest where the body was found. So what? If the body was still at the scene when the police got here, removing the blood would accomplish nothing. However, let us suppose for a moment that the body was not. Someone had wanted to erase any trace of what had happened in that room. And it all makes perfect sense. Traces of the victim's blood were found in the fountain, along with the traces of the chocolate from Mr. Tangora's room. I believe the missing piece of blood-stained chocolate was dumped into the stream that flows to the fountain. Someone purposely disposed of the blood after the body had been removed from the chest. Mr. Von Karma, where did you find the body? You didn't find it, did you? Answer me! You! Where did you get your hands on that kind of evidence?
We asked forensics and they told us.
You have neither the authority nor the means to carry out that kind of analysis on the fountain water.
No, but I do.
Curse you, Bat! You've been a thorn in my sight from the moment you were assigned. Well, no longer. As of now, you are officially off the case.
Ha! I was barely on it in the first place.
Will you admit it? Will you confirm that no body was ever recovered?
It's really quite the claim, you know. One that you'll never find any proof for, I'm afraid. Now, if you don't mind, I have given quite enough of my precious time already. I look forward to destroying you in court. Gregory Edgeworth.
And that's pretty much how things went down. Those are the facts of the IS-7 as far as I'm concerned. So, what happened at the trial? Well, we lost. Von Karma did a real number on us. Really? Couldn't prove that Mr. Tangora was innocent? Oh, we could prove it alright. Had a decent little pile of evidence in our favor. Problem was, we underestimated Von Karma. He fought even dirtier than we feared. Anywho, the trial dragged on and on. Whole thing took about a year in the end. I'll never forget the day the verdict came down. December 28th that following year. It's April now, so ooh, mama. We're talking over 17 years ago. Okay, Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, ooh, mama.
Just before the trial got started, Gregory noticed that Samson was looking even worse than usual. Turns out the poor guy had finally reached his limit. It was so bad, he even said he wanted to be found guilty. Von Karma had gotten Samson to falsely testify against himself to being an accessory to murder in court. But Gregory still had his ace in the hole though. He knew he needed one last card to play if they squeezed a confession out of Samson, so he had Bad record all of Samson's interrogations. Anyway, Gregory presented the recordings as proof that Samson's confession was coerced. And you know what? It almost worked. A cop named Ian Seidman got fired. Samson's interrogator and the initial detective before Bad. He took the fault for pretty much the whole thing. But Von Karma didn't get away scot-free. In fact, he was disciplined by the chief prosecutor.
For the one and only time in his 40-year career, I went on to become a prosecutor as planned, as when Mr. Von Karma showed me this case file. According to these records, Tangora was convicted as the main culprit in Mr. Frost's murder.
Nope, that's not right. Samson was convicted as an accessory to murder.
Strange. The file clearly states he was the perpetrator.
This file's been doctored. The part about the verdict, it's been changed.
What?
Here, feast your peepers on this. I carry this around with me for fun.
Let's begin there. 8'9". The video as an accomplice. Then why is my copy so different?
My guess is he didn't want Gregory's son thinking that there was a murderer out there still at large. Didn't want you looking into it again before the statute of limitations was up.
Everything I believed about the case was a lie.
I inherited Samson's case when your old man passed. Prosecution handed it off to somebody else too. Anyway, long story short, the killer was never found, and Samson was found guilty instead. That's terrible! Is there really nothing we can do to help him? Not without the real perp, I'm afraid. Until then, his confession stands. It is the samurai! Von Karma had threatened Samson and made him a deal. Told him if he didn't confess, he'd make sure Judy was convicted instead. Damn!
Damn!
How could he? Samson knew there was no way Judy could have done it, of course, but he wasn't going to take any chances. So he did what he was told and confessed to keep her safe. Why do you think your Uncle Eddie just happened to be in the prison the day Bronco Knight died?
You were there to see Mr. Tangora.
Bingo! Judy and I both promised we'd visit him every day. I didn't quite keep that promise, but Judy did. She never missed one visit in all these years. How heartbreaking! We've got to do something, Mr. Fender. Well, kiddo, that's actually why we came here, and why I have this file with me. The ice sculptures are back on display, just like they were all those years ago. And we're going to see what we can find out. Right, Miles Reno?
I want to know the truth behind both of these cases. I'm not leaving until I do.
Small amount of evidence.
Yes, I see. I'll take a look at him in a bit.
Is that Frost?
Oh my god, it might be. The events of the present day would appear to be intimately linked with events of the past. Means they may be able to help us learn more about what happened 18 years ago.
Sounds good to me. Let's get investigating.
Objection!
Oh,
God. No. Oh, no, you don't. Aren't you forgetting somebody?
Of course not. I am simply offering once again to do what I can to help with today's investigation.
Your offer is duly noted and duly declined. The identity of the body from the found is currently being ascertained.
Perhaps I can help you speed up that process along. I think I have an idea who our mystery victim might be.
Are we seriously going with this?
I think it's Frost. I believe the body in the fountain is that of the man who was murdered here 18 years ago. Mr. Artie Frost.
What? Are you saying that was poor Chillywinks?
Wait, who the heck is Chillywinks or Artie? Whoever it is you're talking about.
Artie Frost was a famous sculptor, Eustace. The sculptures on display here are all his works.
No way. Sounds like he did well for himself. Always good to encounter a fellow winner.
Mr. Frost was also the victim in the IS-7 incident. Judge Gavelle knows about the IS-7 incident. Mr. Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident is an 18-year-old case. And according to police records, the victim's body was recovered. An autopsy duly carried out. No, it wasn't.
Sure, that's what the records say. But the records can't always be trusted. Yeah, this is winner. What? Really? The body. We've got an ID. Some sculptor called Frost or something. So I guess, Edgeworth called it?
Goddess of justice! Perhaps now you'll admit that I might be of use to this case. More than a certain junior prosecutor, anyway. We do not need to do anything. And you do not need to know the truth. This case is none of your concern.
Objection!
Whoa there, Judge G. I think you might be wrong about that. Yep. See, I was on the defense team for IS-7, so this case is very much my concern. I was one of the pesky kids pushing the theory that the body had actually gone missing, when there's been a miscarriage of justice caused by the prosecution. It's the committee's job to fix it, no? Unless you have an ulterior motive.
Very well. You may both assist in the investigation. The winter wing is off limits for now. This room, however, is all yours.
Alrighty, great to hear we're on the same wavelength, G.
Still unclear on two key facts. How Mr. Frost's body came to where we found it, and the source of the ubiquium. Let's focus on the ubiquium first and foremost. It's also bright red in color, and has a distinctly minty fragrance.
So it's all the stuff we had in the past added on to now.
Last, the IS-7 file. If we read it, there's probably gonna be some Bender and annotations.
He cured it. Oh, his taste disorder's cured. Yay!
From the color and aroma, so this is a bottle of spilled tea.
And look, there's a small chunk of ceramic in it. I guess somebody must have broke something.
No, with that insignia.
Was it you, Larry? Did you do it?
Hello there, dearie. Still investigating away, are ya? Found anything interesting?
No, dearie. Well, nothing much anyway.
Silly girl. That was the dearie moment. That was more of a lambkin.
Well, I'm not British.
Sweetheart is when you're being sympathetic, of course. And treasure for when you're there in a tiz. Love is for people you're not that keen on. And petal you use when you're trying to get someone's attention.
Wow, I didn't realize there were so many rules. Mr. Edgeworth, pedal. I hope you're getting all this down.
Don't even try it, Kay. You're not British.
Oh, dearie me.
Since the police have already removed the body. Seems like that the body was preserved somehow.
Hey, Mr. Francis guy, anything to report? Yes, ma'am. Traces of both ubiquium and affixium have been detected in the fountain. In addition to those two chemicals, there's also a large amount of sugar. The composition of the sugar is being analyzed as we speak.
Was he encased in one of the sugar sculptures?
That would be utterly ridiculous, so yes.
The tablecloth dive over the card is pure white and completely spotless.
He was just waiting for me to grab it by the edge and clear my mind and whoosh!
Hey, Edgy!
What is it?
You better be careful with that teapot, you hear?
Why is Larry so concerned all of a sudden?
Honored guests! I can pour you a cup if you like.
Miss Bound.
I'm good, thanks. No tea for me. You two knock yourselves out.
Thank you for the offer. Yes, why not? A quick break won't hurt.
Wow, it tastes even better than it smells. What type of tea is this, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's Ceylon, I believe. It's usually identifiable by its citrus aroma, but... Miss Bound, is this the same blend you served this morning?
Why, yes, it is. Is it all right? There's anything wrong with it, is there?
Just that the cup you gave me earlier had a slightly different aroma. Was there ubiquium in it?
I used the exact same blend both times. I can't see what could account for the difference.
Quit being so mean about Judy's tea, will you?
What's gotten under your skin, Larry?
Nothing. You're just rude. That's all.
He dropped one of the tea sets things, didn't he?
Yep.
You know what? I'm done. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Hallelujah!
I'm going to keep this simple, Larry. You're hiding something. Just tell me what it is.
But it's going to be what solves the case.
Yes.
Whoa, quit it with the glare off, you two. It's weird.
Would you mind taking a look at this for me, Larry?
Why don't you show me that?
Tell me, what is it about Miss Bound's teas that has got you so agitated? If you won't tell me, then perhaps you prefer to explain it to Judge Gavelle?
Well, wait! Don't make me look bad in front of Verity! She thinks I'm a sensible, cool, clean-cut guy!
No, she doesn't. I'm not so sure about anybody here thinks you're particularly clean-cut, Larry. If you don't want her to think badly of you, the best thing you can do is talk to me.
Earlier, I thought Verity might like a cup of tea, so I went to pour one for her. I got distracted and my hand slipped and, smash! I broke the teapot, the price is like a mud, it's in pieces because of me!
Crying to me won't do you any good. I think you might need to apologize to Miss Bound.
My teapot? I see.
I'm sorry, Judy! I'm so sorry!
Please, Mr. Dukesnim. It's really me who should be apologizing. How could I have failed to notice that there were broken pieces of ceramic on the floor? Somebody could have been hurt. Here, let me make sure that's safely disposed of.
Oh.
This is not the reaction I would have expected.
Yeah, I would not expect that either. The teapot in question was assigned by Artie Frost, correct? This time was something you've long treasured. You must be upset.
Oh, I am. But of course, all things break eventually. And as luck would have it, I have another identical teapot. It's far from the end of the world.
This other teapot you talked about, it's the one sitting on top of the card right now, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so when I smashed the first one, I tried to hide the pieces in the bottom of the card. And that's when I saw the other pot under there, so I took it out and basically switched the two pots.
Ah.
I see. It's really quite all right. Thank you for being so honest.
See, Archie, isn't Judy the absolute best?
I trust you won't take advantage of her kindness and will make amends somehow.
I sure will! Want to make it as an artist, I'm going to give her one of my paintings! She was one of my models after all, it's only fair!
Don't you think it would be better for you to keep out of her way for a very long while?
Oh, but I will be keeping out of her way, because I sketched her and the others already! Keen to see my work, huh? Yeah, I drew a few great sketches of some ravishing beauties. Want to see?
Interesting, Larissa's ravishing beauties, huh? Mr. Edgeworth?
I simply wish to see if Larry has captured any unusual details this time too.
He really does. Larry causes most of the trouble, but he also is the one who saves everything.
I suppose we might as well take a look.
What?
What is Miss Scone doing?
Okay, these are really good sketches also.
There's a few in the fair face that have caught my eye since I've been here, you know. He's actually really good at this, not gonna lie.
Why did you draw them all on the same page?
Well, I meant to draw the room at first, just something to pass the time. Then I saw one beauty, and another, and well, I just scribbled them all down as I went. These were all drawn at different times. Huh? Yeah, I guess. How true to life are these sketches? Did you only draw what you actually saw? Of course! You think I draw things I can't see? Like using my imagination? Nope, these are 100% true to life, right down to the exact shade of each color. Yeah, tea smells different, because the teapots have been swapped. I suspect the difference in aroma we notice is due to the teapots having been switched. Why don't we ask Miss Bound just to be sure? Difference in aroma we noticed, do you think it could have been because of the different teapot?
I suppose so.
My cobblers just now had a supple minted scent. Rather like uwa tea.
Oh, I just remembered. I made some peppermint tea in that pot only yesterday. That must be where the minty aroma is coming from.
Ah. But the issue is that Ubicium has a minty aftertaste of minty fragrance. The tea from the teapot Larry switched in from under the cart smelled faintly of mint.
Right. Miss Bounce said she used the pot to make peppermint tea yesterday.
Yes, but there's something else that's been troubling me. Miss Bounce seemed more taken aback by the switching of the teapots than the breaking of one. I suspect she might have been deliberately hiding the teapot underneath the cart. So what if she had been hiding some in that teapot? It's simply a possibility, but one worth investigating, I believe. Mr. Winner, any luck finding that Ubicium?
My people are searching the entire gallery, but they haven't found anything yet. And what about you? Don't tell me you know where it came from.
I may have an idea.
Ha! I knew it! If I can't find it, there's no chance of useless! What? The hair thing is just so anime and I love it.
I love it.
What? Where?
Miss Bound's teapot.
Then I'll have one of the forensics people check it out. Mr. Edgeworth! Is there some sort of problem with my teapot?
Possibly. The minty fragrance we noticed coming from it. I think it's just it might be the scent of one of the chemicals used to make the poison gas. The method used to create the gas would have required considerable preparation. Nobody else would have had the time or the opportunity to see that object except for you.
There were all kinds of people coming and going through here during that time. Delicia, for one. So you see, I'm not the only person who could have set it up at all. And besides, I wouldn't know the first thing about making poison gas. So even if you did find some ubiquium in my teapot, I wouldn't have had any idea what to do with it.
Miss Bound claims she doesn't know the first thing about making poison gas. Need to find a way to prove that she's lying.
Sir, it's me! Everybody's left the Winter Wing. It's just me in here now. Which means I can tell you what we found out. The exhibits in here have all completely melted. All that's left in the display cases is some stuff at the bottom.
Scrap this stuff for me if you can.
Samples from the Taurus case just had a bunch of sugar in it. The one from the Gemini case had 3 different substances in it. Sugar, salt, and blood.
Was he inside the Gemini?
Where was he for 18 years?
I'll get it tested right away, sir. Oh, I also spoke over the radio with the forensics guy working in the fountain room. He said he just got word that the sugar they found in the fountain matches the sugar in the pale blue liquid.
I see. That might well prove to be a significant development. Anything else to report, Detective?
Yes, sir. We found one of those light-emitting devices here in the Winter Wing, too.
Need to talk to Miss Scone about this. Miss Scone, I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may.
Of course, dear. Fire away. Anything for you, Mrs. Smilesy? And dear sweet little Toothy K.
Oh my god! Toothy K!
That's terrible.
I'd appreciate if that was the last time you called me Milesy Smilesy.
I'm not a fan of Tooth Decay either.
Well, you just have to like it or lump it. I can't change the nickname once I've settled on it.
What can you tell us about the various devices used to decorate the gallery exhibits?
Now, I can tell you all about those, dearie. After all, I'm the one who gave them to Moody Judy. I bought her 4 lovely new salt lamps, and I gave her the 4 pieces of luminous cloth I used for the contest.
These decorations, they're all the same as the ones she saw 18 years ago, correct?
Yep. Salt lamps, glowing fabric, light-emitting doodads, the whole bit.
There were 4 luminous cloths in use in the autumn wing, but I'm sure I saw another one somewhere. You had a piece of fabric like this in your bag, did you not, Miss Scone? Oh, but it's a somewhat grimy one.
Grimy? How rude! You won't get people to cooperate with your little investigation like that, young man!
Should I call it a dish towel then? Perhaps you used it to wipe some sort of spillage?
A spillage, he says! The cheek! That's a piece of highly specialized luminous cloth! Oh, I probably shouldn't have told you that.
I think I'd like to know a little more about this highly specialized luminous cloth, if you don't mind.
But before that, making gas.
How might someone learn to make the poison gas that was used in the attack, Any ideas?
Well, any pharmacist who's ever handled infesticide ultras would know for a start.
What about a layperson? It's unlikely they'd know, wouldn't you say?
I suppose so, yeah. Well, not unless they'd had a nose through the Ultimate Cookbook anyway.
Oh, prize from the contest 18 years ago.
The recipe for making infesticide ultra along with the not mix it with the ubiquium bit is in there, you know.
Why is that in there? Okay.
So you're familiar with the contents of the book?
Oh yes, dear, I know it inside and out. Because I work for the Tangora group, you see. After Sammy Poodle was found guilty, the company took custody of the book.
Oh, so the company won out.
But they only grant their most trusted people access to it, of course.
Why didn't you want me to know you had a piece of luminous cloth in your bag?
Oh, well, I suppose there's no point hiding it now, is there? If you must know, I fished it out of the fountain. It was right there before you called me into the autumn wing. At first, I thought it was one of the ones I'd be giving Moody Judy, but all four were being used in the autumn wing, weren't they? But I realized it must be the one that went missing all those years ago. I already had my infesticide ultra pinched and used to make poison gas. It's one of my clothes that had been used in some sort of dastardly deed too. Well, I was going to look guilty as a sin, wasn't I? So I kept it hidden in my bag and hoped for the best. Oh, it does feel good to get it off my chest, though. That's just no good for the complexion.
But how did nobody ever figure out the body had gone missing? Frost had no family apart from his son. And well, the kid kind of vanished. Nobody's seen him since around the time of the incident.
Why?
Gusto's son, too. Him and his best pal from school both just up and disappeared. What? And they were never found? Gusto's boy wasn't. As far as I heard, anyway. Guess Frost Kid turned up in the end, though. He collected his inheritance at some point. But yeah, with no family around just after the incident, Frost got no funeral, no nothing. Anyway, what can I say about Jude's? Well, she's a real brave trooper for one. What else do you call someone who waits around for 18 whole years like she has for Samson? Even after his extended family kicked her out of his place. What? They threw her out? Yep, Jude wasn't technically part of the family, so there was nothing she could do. What? Did he not adopt her? She had nothing, nobody, and no job after Samson took the fall. So she had no choice but to take what he taught her and make her own way in showbiz. She retired from all that now, though.
Yes, why did she retire?
She'd finally made enough to buy the old place back. And she even got the Ultimate Cookbook back from the Tangora group after they basically stole it.
Oh shit! That's what we needed.
How? Guess this place and everything to do with it was all she ever cared about. So she just wanted it back. All of it. And this should give us evidence to present to Judy or something.
The Ultimate Cookbook contained instructions on how to create the poison gas. And the current owner of that book is none other than Miss Judy Bound.
No way! You mean...
I'm afraid I do. Miss Bound would have been perfectly capable of setting up the gas trap. Finally, we can prove that she's been lying to us.
How do we prove it?
Why is there a lift car just sitting out here in the open?
Guess somebody must have been moving something heavy.
How about the platform seems to be wet?
You know, I've got a funny feeling I've seen this thing somewhere before. I last saw it in Frost's room. He must have used it to move the ice sculptures around. It's one of those fancy numbers where you can change not only the platform's height, but even its angle. Ah, that is fancy. If you had one of these, you could move giant lumps of ice around, no sweat.
Oh shit. In Larry's picture.
The candy or whatever.
Yeah.
It still doesn't explain what it's doing here, though. A bit of a head scratcher. But we should give it a think, yeah? Because there's a color difference.
Larry, could I ask you something about your sketches? Light blue tablecloth. You painted one exactly as you saw it, correct?
I already told you. Everything's exactly as I saw it.
The tablecloth of the card here in this room is white.
Oh, we had so full of crazy theories and simple stuff just passing you right by, huh? What's that look for? Listen, just before I drew that sketch, I was in the middle of some business with the card with the T set on, okay? Anyway, I was still in the middle of cleaning it all up when Judy came out the winter wing. I didn't want to get busted for breaking it apart, so I quickly dove out of sight.
Wait, Miss Bound came out of the winter wing?
Yeah, and she was pushing a card. A different one. That's the one with the light blue tablecloth on it I drew.
And what did she do with the second serving card?
Well, I saw her wheel into the summer wing, but I don't know what happened to it after that. When she came back out, she was pushing one of those other carts, the kind you can lift stuff with. Yeah, so I called out to her, but she just ran off and left it behind. I never had her down as a shy type, but it just goes to show you never know.
Are there two serving cards here at the gallery, Miss Bound?
Yes. Why do you ask?
Certain so-called artists showed us this sketch. Couldn't help but notice the color of the tablecloth. It's light blue.
Light blue? I'm afraid your friend must be mistaken. I only use white tablecloths. Freshly laundered and starched.
The colored tablecloth in the sketch seemed to be a mistake on Larry's part. What exactly were you doing when this sketch was drawn?
I was delivering some chocolates to the investigating officers. Aw, I'm jealous. I love chocolate. Well, there were a few left over, so here, for you both. I made them myself. I hope you like them. Woohoo! Thanks, Miss Bound.
Well, why not? Chocolate is getting pretty expensive nowadays anyway. They're a little melted, but I suppose that's because they've been sitting around in her pocket. And that's that. All that's left now is to await the results from the test on the teapot.
The test results have just come in, sir. Traces of ubiquitum were found in the teapot. They were? Curse you! You do not think this means you beat me!
You really need to drop this obsession with coming in first, Mr. Winner. We're all on the same side here, remember? We're all trying to get to the truth.
What? But first is best! Everybody knows it's better to be a winner than a loser!
That's really no way for a prosecutor to think. A successful one, anyway. Enough! Mr. Edgeworth, please refrain from taunting the boy.
Is she trying to get him to be basically what Von Karma was and break his record?
Why don't I take care of things here for now? In the meantime, you can perform the far more important task of going and checking on the victim.
Oh, yeah, good idea. I'll be right back.
Miss Bound, perhaps you could explain why traces of ubiquitum were found in your teapot.
Perhaps it's one of the ingredients in the dishwashing soap I use.
So are you telling the court that you did not intentionally put ubiquitum in the teapot?
Yes, exactly. Why would I? Until today, I had no idea that could even be used to make poison gas.
Oh, come on. You're a trained actress, are you not, Miss Bound? I have thought you would be more convincing liar. You have access to the ultimate cookbook, correct? A book that just happens to contain instructions on how to create the poison gas used in the attack. Meaning it's perfectly possible for you to know exactly how to make it.
The book does contain information on how to make the poison gas, yes. But the fact that I have seen it doesn't make me guilty. Can I ask exactly how the gas was triggered?
The victim used a blowtorch to heat the lid off one of the display cases, thereby melting the ubiquitum.
But he locked himself in the room too, didn't he? Surely that and the fact that he triggered it himself. Wouldn't it point to it being a suicide attempt? Furthermore, where would I have gotten a hold of the Infesticide Ultra? Well, apparently you're buddy-buddy with the pharmacist here.
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you stole it. You know, I did bump into Moody Judy a week or so ago. And that very evening I noticed my Infesticide Ultra had gone missing.
There would have been any number of opportunities for someone other than myself to steal it from you.
That's true, and I don't have any hard evidence that it definitely was Miss Bound who stole it.
How was Jude's involved in what happened back then?
According to Miss Bound, it was because of her that Mr. Frost's flavored ice sculptures had melted. And yet, his sculptures are here on display at this very gallery today. Is it possible that she... Miss Bound? You said you were the one who caused Mr. Frost's creations to melt 18 years ago, correct?
I'm afraid so. I was young and foolish, and it was a terrible accident.
And yet, what you did allowed you to open this exhibit, no?
What do you mean?
If you're going to ask such questions, perhaps a formal testimony from Miss Bound might be best? I will say one thing about Gavelle, she is not as evil as Von Karma is so far.
It took 18 years, but at long last, I was finally able to buy Samson's home back a little while ago. But a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery. To that end, I collected as many Paul Hallow-Creek pieces as I could from around the world. Because, if I'm honest, it's always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work.
Also, there was some fine sculptures in the background there.
Okay, so, do you have anything that says something about it being broken and how she felt about it?
I don't think so.
Hold it!
Tell me more about this dream of yours, Miss Bound.
Well, what I really wanted was to open a gallery with Samson, of course. Oh god, no more singing. A gallery of dance, a gallery of song, a gallery of kiting and candy all day long. That was the idea anyway.
And here I thought art was to be appreciated in silence, not accompanied by musical numbers. The strings are missing on the lyre.
And this is his sketch of it, also missing the strings.
Now, why the lyre? But those are Pisces. Why are the strings missing on Pisces too?
In this Gemini case, the sugar composition matches that of the sugar found in the pale blue liquid in Audie's room 18 years ago. And the sugar in the fountain is also a match. I mean, if we reference this, it might ask us to point out the lack of strings.
Yeah.
Objection!
This piece of evidence
No,
will
it's
reveal
not.
the truth.
Objection!
Okay, it is the other one.
That's usually the problem we tend to find. I'm afraid you... Oh, let me just turn it off. I'm afraid you've run out of road, Miss Bound.
Did you just say you had to take your shirt off?
Yeah, because I'm sweating. It's very hot in here.
All right, all viewers, imagine Mthis without a shirt.
Oh, God.
He has a six-pack, I'm sure of it.
Very floppy six-pack. You can lie all you like, but you can't deny the results of the tests conducted on the sculpture's remains. And those tests leave no room for ambiguity. What you had on display were replicas. They were the very statues Mr. Frost carved 18 years ago. Put it simply, the statues didn't disappear back then because they'd melted.
Why would you keep a body and the statues for 18 years?
That's a very good question. They disappeared because you spurred them away and kept them hidden for these 18 long years.
What? She kept a pair of flavored ice sculptures around somewhere for all that time?
Miss Bound, have you anything to say in your defense?
So you've already learned that much?
Did I take that to mean you admit to having hidden the flavored ice sculptures in question?
No, I admit to no such thing. You haven't proven that I was the one who took those statues away. The police were already here when they disappeared. How could I have done it without them noticing?
I don't yet know exactly how you did it, but I'm far from ready to say that it was impossible for you to have stolen them away.
You're a very persistent man, aren't you, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, you have no idea. I am indeed, and I won't stop until I get the truth.
Then I'd better tell you exactly what I did that day 18 years ago. The whole time before judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living room on standby. During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for Samson. But before I could take the camera back to Samson, I discovered Mr. Frost's body. Later around, when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everybody present. That was when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room.
She literally just contradicted what you said 18 years ago.
Hold it!
What were you doing while you were waiting?
I was in my room practicing some dance routines. I was on a TV show called Bacon Bop with Samson, you see. Bacon Bop? What kind of show was it?
It was a children's show. The two of them would sing and dance as they made a variety of sweets.
Whoa, that sounds awesome. Hold the phone, Miles. You used to watch it?
My father introduced me to it. I may have watched an episode or two. Just the moment Miss Brown stole the sculptures. I'm not sure this was the moment.
I think it would be here, actually.
Yeah.
So she began to serve tea to everybody, but she had the sculptures underneath it.
Right. And that explains something. The plate was cold.
Hold it!
Miss Brown, I believe this was when you stole the sculptures.
I hate to contradict you, but the fountain room was full of witnesses at that point, Mr. Fender included. Are you suggesting that I somehow got the sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room right under everyone's noses?
That is precisely what I'm suggesting. Miss Brown stole those ice sculptures, and she did it by hiding them here. In the card, under the card.
Take that!
My father and Fender had no idea that one of these sculptures was mere inches away from them. Because it wasn't just a tea set you were pushing around, Miss Bound, but a hidden ice sculpture in a glass case.
Overruled!
Surely such a thing would have been impossible. How would a case of that size fit on a serving card? It would have been spotted immediately. Who said anything about a serving card? What? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Edgeworth. What are you suggesting she used instead? The card Miss Bound used to move the flavored ice sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago, and it would appear that the very same card is still here with us in this fountain room. As you can imagine, all one would need to do is lay a case on its side, add a tablecloth, and it looked exactly like a normal serving card, thus allowing her to move the sculptures around freely.
Holy moly! Of course! That's why those saucers were so chilly! They were sitting on top of a big block of ice! Impressive! This is where she goes even!
Are we gonna have a mass drop?
There isn't a scrap of evidence that I stole the sculptures all those years ago now! And yet, I knew that no matter what I said or did, I'd always be under a cloud of suspicion!
So you admit it? You admit you stole them from Mr. Frost's room?
Yes, I do! I took those sculptures and their glass cases out of the room 18 years ago! When I had finished moving the 2 ice sculptures and the 2 zodiac blocks out, I took 2 fresh empty cases to Mr. Frost's room and put them where the original 2 had been. As stated in the contest rules, we are responsible for providing all the display materials, including cases.
It would have been easy for her to repair those empty spares. She swapped them. Okay, that at least gives a reason there.
Mr. Frost's room contained quite a few other flavored ice works in progress. I figured if I melted them down somehow, the resulting puddle would look like it came from the sculptures.
Ah, sneaky.
I have to say, Mr. Edgeworth, that's quite the confession.
Indeed, I think she offered it so willingly because she knows there's nothing we can do with it.
However, despite everything I've shared, you can't charge me with anything now, can you? What? How'd you figure that?
Oh my! I would have thought you might know at least this much, even with a crime scene. I suggest you memorize the various statutes of limitations outlined in this book.
So if it's theft, it's 7 years from the day of the crime. Separate timeframes apply with regards to damages. Murder is 15 years. Statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. It's suspended from any time, from the time of any accomplished indictment to the end of their trial.
Town stole the ice sculptress 18 years ago, so it's too late to have her arrested for that crime.
I don't believe it! You just gave me some ideas!
Theft is a serious matter, especially when it involves the removal of evidence from a crime scene. However, as you yourself just pointed out, Miss Brown can no longer be prosecuted for her crime. Rendering your revelation rather pointless, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I find a body that reappeared 18 years after the theft to be considerably more of more interest.
Are you suggesting that I also hid Mr. Frost's body?
I am indeed.
How do you keep a body hidden for 18 years without anybody finding it?
By hiding it in a very unusual way. Are you telling me that you know where the body has been for all this time, Mr. Edgeworth?
Are you seriously going to be right that was hidden in one of the ice sculptures?
Yeah, I think it was encased in the sculpture. Let's just say it wasn't just flavored eyes as you removed from Mr. Frost's room back then. Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, where exactly was Mr. Frost's body hidden? Photograph of Mr. Frost's work. And of the victim's body, Your Honor. Where exactly in this photograph is Mr. Frost's body?
So this one?
Yeah, I think so. The Gemini sculpture. Yes, it may look like a sculpture at first glance, but it is in fact Mr. Frost's corpse. What? Surely you can't be serious? I don't see anything in the photograph to support such a wild claim. That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to hide the body in plain sight. The court demands that you present what was used to conceal the body, the cloth.
Take that!
Little cloths from the autumn wing? Yes, when it's made to glow in just the right way, it's so visually convincing, you might mistake it for eyes. Isn't that right, Miss Scone? Well, yes, dear, but you can make it look like just about anything, really, even blazing fire! And the right shade of blue would make it look like eyes, yes, exactly. Exactly like it, in fact. No, this can't be!
Wait, so you're telling me that when we took that photo of us in the winter wing?
Yes, we were standing right in front of the body. But the body and the cloth were both recovered from the fountain. Why were they found there if the body was supposed to be in the winter wing disguised as a sculpture? Miss Brown needed to remove Mr. Frost from the winter wing in order to throw us off the scent.
Did she, know Gusto was the killer and is trying to reveal it so Samson gets out now or some shit?
Ridiculous. I don't recall her sneaking around behind our backs to throw a body in the fountain. No, and she didn't need to, because she had another method at her disposal. A trust and live card. Same card that had proved so useful in executing our original theft. I knew she wheeled the body into one of the other rings and floated it down the stream to the fountain. The frozen body, being quite solid, probably got stuck somewhere along the way. This is why only the cloth appeared at first. The cloth Miss Scone discovered. That had to make some sense. And then the body floated afterwards. Was that forward enough?
It's an ingenious theory, Mr. Edgeworth. But can you prove that it was me? It seems a little unfair to expect me to accept your accusation without proof. Don't you think? What about an eyewitness? Do you think someone might have spotted her when she was moving the body?
As a matter of fact, I do, and I dread to already bring it up. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any evidence to support your allegation? Of course. I have a piece of very compelling proof right here.
Take that!
More drawings? And is that me? Yes, Mr. Botts drew sketches of people as they passed through the fountain room. What I'm interested in is the card we can see here. Miss Brown's serving card, what about it? You don't see it. She's using the same trick she used 18 years ago. We know that Miss Brown was busy moving to Mr. Frost's body when this picture was being drawn. This tablecloth appears to be light blue. Yes, a shade of tablecloth that Miss Brown doesn't seem to own. The cloth only appears to be light blue due to the body hiding just underneath. But the shape of the card is perfectly rectangular. This is one would expect. Surely it would be immediately obvious if the tablecloth was being draped directly over the body. Not if the body had been placed inside one of the hollow zodiac blocks in the winter wing. Goddess of justice!
I didn't expect you to deduce all that from a single simple sketch. But that sketch alone isn't really enough to prove your theory, is it?
You needn't worry on that front. My case doesn't rest solely on Mr. Butt's artwork. Once you had disposed of the body, your serving card became a simple lift card once more. Without a serving card, you had to find some place to put your chocolates. As we saw in the sketch, you had originally placed them on top of the card. The chocolates you gave us came from your pockets.
Oh yeah, mine was half melted. It was still super sweet and tasty though.
Why did you suddenly feel the need to put the chocolates in your pocket, Miss Brown?
It's because you no longer had a serving cart to put them on. That's why. You have explained what Miss Spound did with the chocolates and the lift cart. But what about the tablecloth? Where did it go?
It's wrapped around her.
Miss Spound has the tablecloth on her person. In plain view, in fact. No, so you don't mean... Miss Spound? It's the cloth around your waist, isn't it? All we need to do is confirm my theories and test the cloth for traces of the sugar used in Mr. Frost's work. The game is up, Miss Spound. It's time to come clean.
You won't need to test the tablecloth. Everything you said is true. I stole Delicia's infesticide Ultra, and I moved Mr. Frost's body. Why? Delicia, I'm so sorry. Last week, I went into your bag and took it. And then, I put it in his pocket, hoping to make it look like he had tried to do himself in. I also made sure to leave no fingerprints but yours, just in case the police suspected foul play.
Judy, you? Oh gosh.
I've always planned to give myself up in the end, I swear. I committed a terrible crime. I took those sculptures, and I stole them for purely selfish reasons. The moment Mr. Frost died, they became more than mere entries in a confectionery contest. They became the final works of Samson's favorite artist. His favorite artist.
Oh, it was not her favorite artist. It's Samson's favorite artist.
Yeah. I couldn't allow them to just melt away, not before he came home. So I hid them. I knew it was wrong, but I just had to. I put them in the cold storage room for safekeeping. So what I had actually done was far worse than anything I could have possibly imagined. Because who would have thought that Mr. Frost's body itself was posing as one of the sculptures?
She didn't know about the body when she stole the sculptures.
After his conviction, I was forced out of our home. I was finally able to return only a few days ago. And when I did, I went to the cold storage room to check up on the sculptures. And that's when I saw it. Mr. Frost's body. It had been there the whole time.
Tangaroa's extended family, we already know that.
So what, they basically hired somebody to keep it somewhat clean and keep the power going and stuff? And nobody ever went in cold storage to be like, huh, this is weird. Why are these here? Of course, by that point, the statute of limitations had expired. So I did what I did today. Because it was the only way I could think of to make things right.
It seems I misunderstood her intentions. Everything she's done. It has all been for Miss Tangaroa's sake. She was trying to prove that Mr. Tangaroa is innocent. She had been trying to discover the identity of the true culprit. Disabling the sculptures was sure to force the killer to return to the crime scene. After all, they were the only person apart from you who knew the body was hidden in the icework. You were betting on one thing, Miss Spound, weren't you? That whoever opened the Pisces case you had so carefully disguised as the Gemini case would be the real perpetrator of the IS-7 incident.
But that would mean the real killer was...
Overruled.
Enough! Not another word! You realize even the cases of what you are saying, Miss Edgeworth? Are you prepared to stand behind the accusation you're clearly about to make?
But the statute of limitations. He's free to go. But it's also suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country.
Huh.
He went to Zhang Fa.
That is true.
So we can get him for murder for this case.
Yes, Judge Gavelle, I'm prepared to stand behind my accusation. I know exactly who is to blame for the IS-7 incident. Mr. Gusteau. The victim of the poison attack is the perpetrator behind the IS-7 incident. Gusty!
Wait, why do you have a band-aid on your leg, lady?
Because it's cute.
As you said, I set a trap here in the gallery to try and catch Mr. Frost's killer. Before we opened, I made sure that the door to the autumn wing was the only one that was unlocked. When opening time came, I went around to unlock the other doors of various rooms and found that the autumn wing had been locked from the inside. The killer's on the other side of the door. That thought, well, it frightened me. When I heard that Mr. Guster was being treated for gas inhalation, that's when I knew he was the murderer. All that was left for the police to find Mr. Frost's body, and then Samson would finally be proven innocent. At least, that was my plan. 18 years ago, the police managed to cover up the fact that Mr. Frost's body had gone missing. If I went to them now and said it had reappeared, I was afraid they might have tried to cover it up again. So I worked to set off the very public incident here in the gallery, in front of as many witnesses as possible. I'm so sorry, Judy. You, Samson, Gregory, I let you all down. No, I'm the one who should be apologizing. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, I hope one day you can forgive me, and whatever punishments I have to face, I'm ready to accept it. But please, if I may ask one thing of you, is that you simply must clear Samson's name.
The way the truth in these past 18 years had come to light was unexpected, to say the least. And yet, it had only set us down a path towards an even more shocking end. Miss Bound, are you feeling a little calmer now?
Yes.
Good, and allow me to get to the point. Regardless of your intentions, you broke the law. Nevertheless, I understand that you did what you did in order to prove Mr. Tangaroa's innocence. And therefore, if the real culprit really is someone else, then we have a duty to reinvestigate the case.
Overruled.
There's nothing to suggest that anything nefarious took place in the official IS-7 incident records.
The fact
Oh,
that there was an
boy.
autopsy report on a body that didn't exist is not nefarious?
Yeah. Official records cannot always be trusted, Judge Gavelle.
Can we just mention the fact the body's been here?
Especially since there are those prosecutors who would think nothing of twisting the facts. Are you suggesting that the committee at the time overlooked just such a prosecutor? That's for you and your people to figure out. However, it is a fact that the autopsy report was faked, seeing as Mr. Frost's body was only found just now. There really is something of Mr. Von Karma in you, Mr. Edgeworth. How so exactly? By continually defying the will of the committee and bending the truth to fit your needs, that's how. Perhaps this time you understand how the committee sees this case. Oh boy. The committee is willing to accept that Mr. Von Karma falsified Mr. Frost's autopsy report. Even still, Mr. Von Karma only managed to have Mr. Tangora convicted as an accomplice. I personally have to come to believe that the real culprit behind the IS-7 incident is Miss Bound. Her plan to poison and kill Mr. Gusteau today was her attempt to frame him for Mr. Frost's murder.
Hold it.
Why would Miss Bound have chosen to frame Mr. Gusteau for the murder? No doubt because she suspected her being the real culprit. He suspected her being the real culprit. He may have entered what he thought was the Winter Wing city to see if the Gemini statue was genuine. Little did he know that he would be greeted by a trap designed to silence him. A trap that nearly worked.
He was attempting to use a blowtorch.
Yeah. Do you have any evidence to support that line of reasoning? Unfortunately, Mr. Gusteau remains in critical condition. It will be difficult to prove anything until he regains consciousness. In other words, there's little we can do for now. On the contrary, there's plenty we can do. You still have not grasped the situation, have you? And allow me to spell it out for you. We have all the evidence we need to explain both the IS-7 incident and the poison gas attack. We have therefore determined that there's no need to investigate either case any further.
Hold it.
You really mean to assert that there are no loose ends left to investigate? None at all. All the evidence of the has been examined at length. There's nothing more to be learned from them. Therefore, I see no need to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Miss Judy Bound.
Objection.
My God.
Your Honor, I'm certain there's something that still needs to be examined. The same what you think requires further deliberation now. Assuming there really is anything left, that is.
In the Gemini case, it has salt, sugar, and blood. Why does it have both?
Well, the blood would be from,
Yeah, but why does it have both salt and sugar? It's supposed to be just a sugary thingy-mabobbers.
Why does that have salt?
I mean, if it's not this, I don't know. Well, just stop pressing. We'll just start throwing things at the wall.
Objection.
I think you guessed right.
Yay, I love guessing.
I'm afraid there's still one question concerning the IS-7 incident remains unanswered, Your Honor. Would you mind taking a look at this? What is it? There are test results carried out on the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case in the Winter Wing. As you can see, traces of blood were detected. The question is, whose? Until that question is answered, I can hardly think you can claim to have all the evidence.
Okay, that's not where I was going with it, but whatever.
There was blood in the Gemini case? Why did I not hear about this from Eustace?
Are you really asking that?
Because Detective Gumshoe informed me of the results directly. I was planning to tell Mr. Winner about it myself, of course.
But he wouldn't let me talk.
You kept this to yourself until now? Despite having no jurisdiction here whatsoever? Mark my words, the committee will hear all about what you have done here today.
I mean, this is literally prosecution 101. Actually, this is literally Ace Attorney 101. Defense or prosecutor, you hide the evidence until it makes the most impact.
As ever, my interest is in the truth, and if mistakes were made in the past, it must be rectified. You must report me to the committee, then so be it. But in return, we must be allowed to investigate this case to the very end. We'll need to discuss it with Eustace.
Convincing Eustace of something is easy as long as she keeps her mouth shut. Guess who's back, losers? And with good news too! Haha, he's back!
Ooh!
It was a close call for a minute there, but Carmelo Gusto is alive!
You are the ones who found me.
Yep, long time no see, Gusto.
You are the attorney's assistant. You've grown, and you have an assistant of your own now.
Assistant? No, I am...
He hasn't got the gig just yet. This is Gregory Edgeworth's son.
Fate moves in mysterious ways. I am in your debt. If you hadn't found me in time, I wouldn't be here to thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. After all, if you hadn't lived, we wouldn't be able to ask you what really happened 18 years ago.
What are you talking about?
We figured out quite a bit while you were out cold, including the fact that you're probably the guy who offed poor Audie Frost. What? Is that true?
Miss Barnes set up a very elaborate trap to catch Mr. Frost's murderer. The trap that involved breaking the Pisces case with the poison gas. Perhaps in light of that fact, you could tell us in your own words what happened back then.
I was caught in the girl's trap, so I must be the killer. Is this your idea of a joke? I'm the victim here.
Indeed you are, Mr. Cousteau. There's no evidence that you have done anything wrong yet. Mr. Sheriff and Mr. Fender are merely speculating. Rest assured that they have no authority here, and that you may not pay them no heed.
Somebody here seems to be on my side.
I will assist you in any way you may require. Perhaps you could begin by explaining what actually happened 18 years ago to Mr. Edgeworth? It would seem that you are under suspicion because it was you who triggered the poison gas. Specifically by opening the Pisces case's lid. Would you be so kind as to share why with us?
Like my sword, I have prepared my tools. Understood. I came to see Frost's sculptures. Simple as that. I made a mistake with the opening times and arrived half an hour early.
Miss Bound, was there no one at the reception desk at around that time?
I had left the main entrance unguarded and unlocked, just in case the killer made an appearance. But I did make sure that all the wings were locked up tight, all except for the autumn wing, that is.
Mr. Cousteau, if you could please continue by explaining why you opened the Pisces case.
I wanted to see Frost's work up close, so I went up to the Gemini. Sorry, guess it was supposed to be the Pisces statue. And I saw the lid was frozen on tight, so I got the blowtorch from nearby and tried to open it.
Who wants to see something like that up close?
That is very specific.
When I finally got it open, gas came pouring out.
Fascinating. It's the sort of flawless testimony attorneys can only dream of.
Yeah, everything sounds like a lie kind.
I'm none too satisfied with Mr. Cousteau's explanation myself.
If Gusto killed Frost, he must have had a reason.
He claims to not have had a motive, but that can't really be true, can it?
If he did it, he has one. Not many people commit murder just for fun. In fact, your old man had a little back and forth with Von Calm about a probable motive too, remember?
How can you possibly say that with any certainty? If their relationship had broken down for some reason, that could very well have been the motive behind this murder.
If we can put the pieces together, I think the picture we've been looking for might just emerge.
Miss Scone denied the finger marks of the frame were hers. But what if they were Mr. Cousteau's? Perhaps he had wanted to take a look for the ultimate cookbook for himself.
The number of shots he took did line up with the number of shots remaining.
My father knows these things for a reason. Let's need to piece them together correctly.
Murderer's motive cooperation ended?
I think so. Mr. Cousteau, you and Mr. Frost conspired to create works for the contest together, did you not?
So you know my little secret.
Mr. Fender was kind enough to inform me, but you only collaborated all through the semi-final. Something changed after that.
We both wanted to show what we could do. Show that we were better than Tangora.
And why did you help Mr. Frost with his entry for the final?
What grounds do you have to say that?
Your own statement made to Mr. Von Karma 18 years ago. You told him that you had been working together right up until the day before the final. So why did Mr. Frost help you in return, I admit that your relationship broke down for some reason. And that became the basis of your motive for murder.
That's not how it was. Sure, we stopped working together. It was all perfectly friendly. Besides, how do you think I did it? Exactly. You think I just stole into Tangora's room and killed Frost? Couldn't have killed the man while Tangora was in there working on his chocolate pieces, could I?
Must be a window of time when Mr. Tangora wasn't in his room. Photographing the cookbook's contents would be the perfect way to steal secrets undetected. And what if Mr. Cousteau did just that? What if he used Mr. Tangora's camera to photograph the book?
It'd be the perfect crime. So much better than stealing it and getting chased by the cops.
The only question is, when would he have done it?
Good question. What about during afternoon tea? Didn't Delicia say that Gusto and Frost had missed out on the little tea party they had?
Brings me to the next question. When do we know for certain Mr. Frost was still alive? Mr. Frost had kept himself inside his room after the concert had started. But he was gone by the time Miss Scone slung into it to sample his work. Meaning they had a good chance he was murdered before the end of the afternoon tea. We can be sure that Mr. Frost was alive until the beginning of afternoon tea. Mr. Cousteau, I have a question for you. I said I have a question for you.
What is it?
You chose to make your entry for the final on your own.
I told you, I wanted to test it myself. I wanted to prove I was the best in the world.
Objection!
If that were the case, then sure you wouldn't have chosen to cheat in the first place. Tell me, Mr. Gusteau, why did you feel the need to team up with Mr. Frost? 18 years ago, Mr. Gusteau and Mr. Frost collaborated in the confectionery contest. But why did they work together and why did they enter the contest in the first place? That's the information I need to get out of my opponent somehow. Mr. Gusteau, what inspired you to collaborate with Mr. Frost?
We were acquaintances before we were contestants. He was interested in entering the contest. We decided to sign up together.
Huh, and your decisions to pair up with the sculptor had nothing to do with your lack of faith in your skills?
You don't know me. We joined forces because we wanted to make the most perfect creations possible. That is all. Our son and mine were in the same grade at school, so we got along pretty well too.
Oh, so you were just two friends who happened to try for the title of World's Greatest Confectioner? Now we press. Wake up. Tend to be asleep when the going gets tough. Won't work on me, I'm afraid. Mr. Frost was a sculptor, Mr. Gusteau. Not if he cared much about winning for a title for confectioners. In which case, he probably had a different motive for taking part in the contest. Wouldn't you say?
Fine. It was me. I wanted that title. Frost was only in it for the prize. The ultimate cookbook.
You two had eyes on something other than the title, didn't you?
Oh my god. Look at the timer already.
Yeah,
Holy
you
shit.
need to be quick.
After all, I'm not sure the title of World's Greatest Confectioner even counts for that much.
Now you insulted the way of the confectioner. My goal, my only goal, was to win that title. I didn't care about anything else. You have no idea how much it would have meant to me. Look, my sense of design may not have been up to snuff back then. You should see me now.
Oh, so you've improved.
You bet I have. I didn't do all that training in Shengfa for nothing.
Which means he left the country, which means we can arrest his ass!
I looked up to Tangora, you know. Spent hours poring over the designs of his work. Even used to watch his show with my son.
Sounds to me like Mr. Tangora's work was especially influential in your early studies. And with his recipe book, you might even have become the best someday.
The book was a real treasure, no doubt about that. Any confectioner would have wanted it.
You claim that your only goal was to win the title. Yet you also seem to have had an interest in the contest prize, the ultimate cookbook.
The greatest collection of recipes by the world's greatest confectioner. I can't say I had absolutely no interest in it.
Do you know how valuable the cookbook really was?
What kind of question is that? It was a collection of Tangora's recipes. There was the confectioner in the world who wouldn't have wanted to get their hands on it.
I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. So your plan was to win the cookbook and use it to help you with your own creations.
What else? A book like that could have improved my craft tenfold.
You could have made a lot of money if you sold it.
I don't know how much about what that was actually in there. It was worth more than money, I'll tell you that.
Oh, now, Mr. Gusteau, I think you know more about the ultimate cookbook than you claim.
They told us a little about it at the start of the contest.
Then you know what kind of recipes it actually contained, don't you? And that they weren't the said recipes at all. Except you know what was really in there. Your designs may have improved thanks to your training in Shengfa, but you clearly didn't do enough work on your skills of deception. You've already admitted that you knew the ultimate cookbook was a collection of recipes for medicines. Thereby making your interest in gastronomical and thereby making your interest not gastronomical, but pharmaceutical in nature.
Is he secretly a pharmacist too? Just a samurai one?
You're not a confectioner, Mr. Gusteau. You had no professional interest in revolutionary new medicines, which suggests that your interest must have been personal.
I underestimated you. Fine. You're right. Winning the title wasn't the only reason I entered the contest. I needed one of the recipes in that book. It was for my son. He was sick.
He was? Tell me more.
That's none of your business. I told you as much as you needed to know.
I've almost gotten to the bottom of this. I can feel it. Just a few more moves. Tell me a little more about your son.
He was my pride and joy, and my biggest fan.
You entered the contest in order to help him.
You clearly don't have children of your own. Any father would have done the same. I would have done anything to help him. Anything. He would come see me here at the contest venue, too. Right up through the semi-final.
Really? It didn't get in the way of your work. If you were trying to beat Sam's Tangora, surely you didn't have the time to look after a child.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do what I could for him. He said he wanted to always be the first to try my creations.
So you said your son was sick, Mr. Gusteau, and yet he was able to come and join you for the contest.
It wasn't that kind of illness. Nothing life-threatening, anyway.
This feels like it could be an important clue. Oh, you not taste his things? So you need the cookbook to cure your son.
Yeah, nowadays you can get the medicine he needed anywhere. But back then, that book was our only hope. Which is why I didn't dare waste my time on fancy tea parties. I had to give my all to my work.
What about Mr. Tangora's work? Surely that tea break gave you the perfect opportunity to go steal a glance at it.
What makes you think I had the energy or time to care about what others had made?
I think you've made it abundantly clear how much interest you had in Mr. Tangora's work. What's more, if you were that determined to win the ultimate cookbook, I seriously doubt you would have passed up a chance to take a peek at your competitors' entries.
I'd had plenty of chances throughout the contest to see and sell my rival's work, you know. But each time I did, nothing seemed to have any flavor.
How is it that 3 people all hang out near each other all have the same problem?
Tell me more the name of the disease your son suffered from.
You're a real cool customer, Mr. Prosecutor. Isn't it enough that he was seriously ill? Or would you force me to tell you more?
But you've already shared with me that your son's illness wasn't life-threatening. So why are you so reluctant to share any further details?
It may not have been life-threatening, but that doesn't mean it hadn't been life-altering.
I see, that must have been very hard on both of you.
Of course it was. That's why I did everything I could to find a cure. We were desperate. He couldn't taste anything. Not even his favorite desserts.
As I understand it, the ultimate cookbook contains the recipe for a very particular medication, one that Mr. Tangora used to cure himself of his own taste disorder.
So he had it too?
2, you say? So your son has a taste disorder then, am I correct?
How did I let that slip?
You've been asking me to believe that you needed to win the cookbook in order to cure your son. Well, was that really the case?
Of course it was. What are you saying?
I'm saying that I'm not so sure that's true based on everything you've told me. Taste disorders are difficult to live with. It isn't easy not being able to enjoy your food. You should know. After all, you just told me you'd experienced something like that during the contest. You said that nothing you sampled had any flavor. Those were your words, correct? Which would seem to suggest that you were suffering from a taste disorder. A confectioner without a sense of taste. Not exactly ideal. I'm sure it wasn't actually your own condition you were seeking a cure for, Mr. Gusteau.
I've had enough of your speculations. I managed just fine in that contest. Made all my own entries, no problems.
Sorry, but I'm afraid you were contradicting your own testimony. You've already admitted you and Mr. Frost had worked together during the contest. It's too late to claim you did it all on your own now. You would have us believe that you are a man of principle, a dedicated student of the confectioner's art, like a warrior. Yet you abandoned those principles and conspired with Mr. Frost to rig the contest. So you could cure your own taste disorder.
You got me, Mr. Prosecutor. As you said, my sense of taste was shut. My son's was fine. I kept it hidden for so long. 18 years and nobody knew.
Checkmate.
18 years ago, I developed orgies.
Oh, that's the total loss of your sense of taste. Oh my god.
Argusia.
Mr. Fender, is this what Mr. Tangora had as well?
No, the big man had what they call disassociated taste disorder. Basically, some things he could taste just fine, while others had no flavor at all.
So he suffered too. Can't have been easy. Not when there wasn't a way to cure it on the market.
Which is why you needed Mr. Tangora's cookbook. You will admit now that was the real reason you entered the contest.
It was the only one of the reasons. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted the title. I may not have been able to taste it then. I still knew my stuff was good enough to win.
Oh, so you went into the final thinking you stood at a good chance of winning?
Of course.
We were told that your entry for the final was far from the prize-winning taste sensation you describe. What happened, Mr. Gusteau? What went wrong that day?
You want me to talk? I'll talk. But you're not going to like what I have to say. Frost and I were working together right up through the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing, but I wanted to face Tangora in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skills. So I helped Frost with his entry, but mine, I did alone. If it didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I lack training, and that's all there is to it. Happy now?
Doesn't seem to be any obvious contradiction in his testimony.
Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Miles Reno? See if you can't shake something loose.
Frost was in charge of designing the work you both submitted, while you handled the taste.
Yeah, he was a sculptor, a craftsman, and his sense of design was second to none. but he was clueless about confectionery, which is where I came in. We each did what the other couldn't.
And then boy, did you not have an eye for aesthetics. Not even for the simple stuff. Oh good, we actually get to see him do something now.
Holy shit!
Damn!
How do you like me now?
National symbol of Xingfa.
Oh yeah! It's a phoenix! That's awesome! I'll say. Pretty different to the stuff you were pumping out 18 years ago.
Behold the fruits of my training!
Hold it!
And yet, I heard that your creations prior to the final were scored highly for their flavor. So what went wrong? Was there some kind of cooking accident on that day?
It was... I told you. I had a taste disorder. My sense of taste failed me. It's as simple as that.
No, it wasn't. Mr. Frost interest I complimented on its flavor. The sense of taste hadn't failed you then. Did something change between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusteau?
Not really. The only difference between the semi-final and the final was the Frost wasn't helping me.
Hold it!
So you really completed your final entry without Mr. Frost's help?
I may not have had his decides to lean on, but I knew I was still solid when it came to flavor. So the visuals were the only thing that changed between the semi-final and the final.
You sure gutsy, oh pal. I'm gonna have to call you out on that one, I'm afraid. It wasn't just his looks I got a big thumbs down come judgment time. He got trashed on flavor, too.
The lack of Mr. Frost's assistance shouldn't have affected that. So was there some other difference? It is something to do with taste. But what?
Does this have anything to do with it? Because I know he's been saying his son had the issue, but not him.
Wait, the sun didn't show. The sun never showed for the day of the finals.
Objection!
I can think of one significant difference between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusteau. Your son. I think this is him on the photograph, correct? You told me he was here with you through the semi-final.
He was? What of it?
But indeed, he was here with you until the semi-final. So he suddenly wasn't for the final. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavor to being lambasted for it. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? He wasn't just spending quality time with his father. He was playing as much of a pivotal role than that.
I just wanted him to see me work hard at work, to show him I was trying for my best for us. Who knows? It was him being there that helped me do so well in those early rounds.
He talks a good game, but nothing about this guy screams super dad to me.
I'm sure your son was here to cheer you on. It wasn't all he was here to do, was it?
You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor. But why not try answering yourself for a change?
Your son knew the taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Gusteau.
He was my biggest fan. Of course he knew it.
In which case, he would have been a good judge of whether something tasted on brand, so to speak, no? You've already told us that you were suffering from a taste disorder. No one knew about your condition. Indeed, I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you had he found out. After all, it was your job to make sure his creations tasted good. Therefore, your son wasn't just here to support you. He was here helping by taste testing your work.
You have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor. But do you seriously think I trust a kid to tell me I do just a taste of my masterpieces? I have some pride, you know. Even back then. My designs may not have been much to write home about back then, but I always knew my work tasted better than anybody else's. You think I did this everything by putting my reputation in the hands of a child? This is just more speculation. That's all it is.
In that case, I asked to speak with your son this instant. Let's see how much of your story he can corroborate, but he's never showed up.
Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern. As soon as I got my sense of taste back, I went straight to Xingfa to start my training. Cut all ties with the kid for good. Damn!
Oh, you are a terrible father.
Yeah!
What?
You abandoned your own child?
And that ain't the half of it. No one knows where he is, even now.
So, still think you can prove your asinine theory? I'd like to see you try. You think I care about anything else besides confectionery? Think again. I got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son?
Oh my god.
You're horrible. Silence in the courtroom. While Mr. Gusteau's words and actions may demonstrate a certain lack of humanity on his part,
Oh, that's all it demonstrates.
the goddess of justice not judge him for that. Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it is time for you to admit defeat.
Yeah, give it up. 18 years is a long time for anything to surface now. Proof or otherwise. Where are you, Detective Gumshoe?
Hey, Miles. Sorry to cut in on your mind palace time, but I was pondering something myself. Our friend Gusto didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he?
You mean because you tried to open the case?
Exactamundo! Think we have anything that might explain why he tried to do that?
We might. If Detective Gumshoe can make it back in time with a certain piece of evidence. That's quite enough idle chatter defense. Now if you...
Miss Edgeworth, sir! Sorry to keep you waiting!
So you have the test results, Detective?
Yes, sir! The lab just got back to me!
Detective, please. Court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume that you are bringing us the evidence Mr. Edgeworth was just speaking of?
What? Hey, no fair! Why didn't anybody tell me about any of this?
Is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It needed testing, and so I asked him to carry it out. So, Detective Gumshoe, what did the test have to tell us?
You're not going to believe this, but, the owner of the blood we found in the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case is, Carmelo, the victim of the poison gas attack. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. What is the significance of the blood in this case? Because the blood in the bottom of the chest was not the victim's either. It was how can I say his name?
Gusto's?
It was Gusto's, yeah. I'm pretty confident now. The fact that your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Gusto, is as good as finding your blood lying right next to Mr. Frost's body. Why would there be trace of your blood there of all places, Mr. Gusto? If you won't answer her honor, Mr. Gusto, then I will. It wasn't just blood and liquid from the Gemini case. There were traces of salt and sugar too. If you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work was allegedly very salty indeed.
Oh yeah! You're talking about what Delicia told us back then, right?
Yes, the liar. Only the liar. This is if it had been flavored with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else in Mr. Frost's entry. Where did the salt in the liar come from?
The only thing we know of that has salt!
Yeah, the
salt lamp!
The salt lamp. This is the lamp from the I-7 incident. Indeed, and I believe that the salt that gave the lie its flavor came from just such a lamp. Mr. von Carmine established that both salt lamps were in Mr. Tangaroa's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost, but no corresponding pool of blood was found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in Mr. Frost's room either.
Hey, come to think of it, the lamps were found in Delicia's room were both broken. Are we thinking? Maybe it had Gusto's blood on it at some point.
Anyone whose blood was found on one of those lamps would have been a person of interest to the police. But the killer needed to hide the blood somehow, in a way that wouldn't arouse suspicion. You're seriously suggesting that the liar was used to do just that? I am. I suspect that the blood you saw was somehow applied to the liar so they could be hidden inside the case. It's unlike the fountain water. The sculptors would have needed more time and care to test properly. And the reason he's here today is 18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointed to his killer were taken away together. This, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan. Thus a new dilemma arose. The possibility that the body, the incriminating evidence, or both would be service one day.
So, back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in bright and early to try and cover his tracks.
Well, Mr. Gusto, are you finally ready to admit it? That you are the one responsible for the IS-7 incident?
He's gonna be like, ha ha ha, but you can't just arrest me for it or something, I don't know.
So I finally got caught, huh? All these years later. Nobody else came close back then. Not even the big shot prosecutor or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I have to hand it to you. I did it. I killed him. But he only had himself to blame.
What do you mean by that?
He agreed to help me. Supposed to help each other so that one of us could win. But one was supposed to let the other use the cookbook. But on the day of the final, that finally showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal.
Sorry, I am not helping you in the final. A little agreement is over, Gusto.
But I helped you. I spent all the day yesterday making the ice for your pieces.
Did you? And you can prove that, I suppose?
What do you? Wait, you were planning to betray me right from the start, weren't you? After Frost double-crossed me, I had to make my peace for the final by myself. And like you said, my son wasn't there, so I didn't have any help with the flavor either. A man can't afford to rely on other people. Learned that the hard way 18 years ago. My son never showed up the day of the final. Hindsight, I wouldn't be surprised if Frost was the reason why.
So with his disappearance, so to went your chances of winning, correct?
Yeah, I had to find another way of getting my hands on that book. So when inspiration struck, I decided to skip afternoon tea and snuck into Tangaloa's room. It should have been so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I needed to get out of there. But then Frost showed up.
I thought I might find you here, stealing recipes from the famous cookbook, huh? Tut tut tut. What's this? A cure for taste disorders? Oh no, that's just too tragic. A confectioner who can't taste anything. What will people say?
If you tell anybody, I'll...
You'll what? You can't even hit me, you miserable worm.
Frost shot me hard, and when I went to punch him, knocked me clean off of my feet. I crashed into one of the lamps. And my blood got on it. When it was all over, I realized I had to get rid of that blood somehow. So I scraped off all the bloody bits, dissolved those salt shavings in some flavored ice mixture, and brushed it all over the hob.
And that's how you made the evidence linking you to the murder vanish.
Frost was going to blackmail me. He would have made me give him money to keep quiet about my condition.
You decided you had to kill him?
Yeah, I guess I did. Why would I let him live? Why would you want someone holding something like that over your head? Besides, he's the one who drew first blood. Makes for a solid case of self-defense, don't you think? Anyway, I initially took the lamp to Frost's room. Straight there once I figured out how I was going to hide the bloody part.
But why Samson? Why did you have to frame him? Why couldn't you have framed Scone?
That's probably the intention.
I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault. You and the rest of them. Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing the lamps and clock back in Scone's room?
What? You tried to frame me, Gusty Pants?
Yeah, I respected Tangora. He was the best, a true champion. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You had no respect for our craft at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did. And had you refrained from eating Tangora's work, Frost's body wouldn't have been found. My plan was to wait until Tangora was judging your room. That's when I'd sneak the corpse into Frost's room and freeze it. Thanks to you. Bound here found it before I had a chance to retrieve it.
I don't understand. Why did you need to freeze his body at all?
Mr. Custodian had to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. They determined that the murder occurred during the afternoon tea would have been an obvious suspect.
Freezing Frost's body wasn't simple. Preparing everything took time. So I decided to put his body in the chest in Tangora's room, where I got everything ready in Frost's. At the time, it seemed like the perfect hiding place. Never counted on some gluttonous pharmacist showing up and making the whole ship collapse.
I still don't get it though. Why disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all?
The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect of freezing it would have had on masking the time of death. Therefore, he needs to disguise it at least until it fully frozen.
Ironically, Tangora would have been just fine if the body hadn't been found before he went out of his room. If only things had gone to plan, he wouldn't even have been arrested, let alone convicted.
You mean it was my fault? Everything that happened to Samson? Don't let him get inside your head, Judes. None of this is your fault. If it wasn't Samson, it would have been Delicia instead. She would have been the one they arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusto.
It didn't help that the initial detective was so bad at his job either. He never even told the prosecutor that the body had vanished.
Then Mr. Von Kahr had unwittingly placed Mr. Tangora under arrest in the absence of a body.
Still, you'd think you'd notice something as big as that if he'd taken a look at a few reports, right?
Not if someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case, though. In a way, it seems that Mr. Von Kahr didn't know about the body until after the arrest had been made, admitting that would have spoiled his perfect record.
What a jerk! I ought to arrest you right now, pal!
I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, Detective.
So you noticed, huh? Glad somebody did. The judge is right. You can't lay a finger on me.
What? Why? You just confessed to murder!
I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitations of murder in this country is 15 years. You do the math. You can't arrest me. You think I'd have to confess otherwise?
That's right! The statute of limitations is only 15 years!
Unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm afraid that both Mr. Cousteau's confession and your deductions will have to be struck from the record, and that Mr. Tangora's conviction will remain in place. But we finally proved that the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. Even if we can't arrest Mr. Cousteau, surely Mr. Tangora has grounds for retrial on that basis. I'm afraid that the goddess' judgments are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine. Many means for the verdict from 18 years ago to stand no matter what.
The committee's worthless.
Hold it!
Depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet.
If there's something you want to ask it.
Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the incident.
Not long after the contest, I was able to cure my taste of disorder thanks to the formula from that book. Not so long after that, I went to Shingfa to really buckle down and hone on my craft.
That explains a lot. We tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you were long gone by then, huh?
Could be. I left, let's see, around a year after the murder. It was before Tangora's last day in court. Going to Shengfa was the best thing I ever did. Flavor, decide, I'm the full package now! Damn!
Damn!
Objection!
And all on the backs of those whose lives she destroyed.
How long were you in Zhangfa?
What's an omelet without a few eggs, Nothing, Mr. Prosecutor. Nothing!
You're evil!
I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Shengfa, if you wouldn't mind.
I didn't went to Shengfa to train. I finally became the best in the world.
Hold it!
Shengfa, and you were there for a while, I imagine?
Yeah, I left some time after the investigation had wrapped up. Thanks to the hard work I put in.
I like the animation.
Damn!
God.
My designs are now world class!
Yeah, I can see that.
Whoa, that's amazing! Now, if only we had a statute of limitations for dummies book.
Objection!
I'm glad we pressed that though, because we got to see the dragon. The statute of limitations for murder is subject to the following condition. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. Which means that the time you spend abroad doesn't count towards the total time under the statute. It appears that there may be time left on the clock yet, but that will depend on how long you stay in Shengfa, Mr. Gusteau.
It was 3 years exactly.
3 years? Hold on. Nobody say anything until I've done the math. 15 plus 3 makes exactly 18. Wait, when are they counting it starting? Is it the end of the trial?
I think so.
Because that was a whole year. Mr. Edgeworth, you did it! The statute hasn't expired after all!
Bingo! 18 years exactly! Glad you worked it out for yourselves.
He's just been stringing us along this whole time.
I hate to break it to you, little sis, but IS-7 went down at the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since Frost's murder. If Gusto Stay in Zhangfa really lasted 3 years on the nose, it's not enough. We're a few months short. No, you be quiet over there, lady.
Unfortunately, Mr. Edgeworth, if only the statute had been suspended for another year. Those who would want to overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail.
We're not done here. Far from it. Because there's still a way we can nail him. Alright, Mazrino, pep talk. I need you to think back over everything we know about the case. Look, we already know the answer here!
Yeah, we already know.
Samson's my client, Miles. And I can't bring myself to use the source of his pain as a weapon in this fight. So whether we play our last card or not, it's gonna have to be up to you. We literally know how to end this. Stop wasting time!
Yep. Bring Mr. Gusteau to justice can only happen if I use the outcome of that hard-fought trial. My father and Mr. Von Karma. One such reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I choose to follow. The one that seeks to reveal the truth. The record will state that Mr. Gusteau had been found not guilty on all counts.
Objection!
Screw you, lady!
No, Your Honor. Mr. Carmelo Gusteau is absolutely guilty.
Okay, so, as super judge here, she should know the exact wording of this. So she's either forgotten it, or she's deliberately not wanting to change things.
Yeah. You mean to suggest that you have grounds on which to call for his arrest? I do.
So it's either this or the book again.
Take that!
Very well. Is there a particular page of the IS-7 case file you would like to refer to? The case overview.
Hold on. He's convicted as an accomplice. That could also be it. So it's either suspect data or case overview.
Yeah.
And they were talking about his conviction, so I'm starting to lean more towards suspect data.
Yeah, it might be suspect data. I'd like to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Samson Tangora was convicted as an accomplice, and it took around 1 year from his indictment for that verdict to be reached. The book you gave us details certain conditions pertaining to the statute of limitations for murder. One of them, as I mentioned, is that the statute of limits is suspended if the suspect flees the country. And another
is it's only affecting after their trial.
States that the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial.
What? Tangora was convicted as an accomplice?
Samson was convicted as an accomplice, not as the main perpetrator.
And in a pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction will be the very thing that sets him free. If you spend 3 years in Shengfa, and your accomplice Samson Tangora was under trial for 1 year, it means you can still be charged with Mr. Frost's murder up to 19 years after the fact. The statute of limitations hasn't expired at all. The goddess' judgment is infallible, but that of her servants it appears as not. Since the prosecutor in Chaz's case may have erred, unbelievably, we may have no choice but to instigate a full inquiry.
18 years. That's a long time to let somebody else suffer for your crimes. It's time to pay the piper, Gusto, and not a moment too soon.
But I'm finally the greatest. My predecessor has been recognized. I gave up everything for this. Everything. Even my son.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Mr. Gusto's all set for a trip downtown, sir.
Oh, good. Which means it's your turn next, right? I suppose so. I'm so sorry, everybody. I've caused you all so much trouble. But thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Mr. Gusto to justice at last. Hey, Jude, you think maybe you might want me to represent you? I'm not some nervous newbie anymore. And there's no way I'm letting you take the rap for everything.
Aw.
What?
Damn.
I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender.
Judge Gavelle, why did you lie to us? Lie? What are you talking about? You implied that there were no case for a retrial. But as we've proven, that wasn't true. Surely anyone truly committed to seeing justice done would have called at one as soon as the body was found. I'm under no obligation to answer such questions. Truly, you have proven to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you have given me little choice but to report back to you on your continued transgressions. No doubt you will be called to appear before the committee in due course, heretic. Now, I must burn my way.
So, are we both headcanoning that the head of this prosecutorial in excellence thingamabobbers, the committee, is the main judge?
Probably, that would be funny.
He's given lobster every day. He's so incompetent that other people don't actually do all the work.
Regardless of how it may all play out, I will never regret what we accomplished here today.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why did you stick your nose in this case anyway? You weren't even on the job.
My job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Winner. Not only as a prosecutor, but as a person.
I don't get it.
I wouldn't expect you to understand. Not as long as you believe that closing a case makes you a winner.
That's going way over my head. I'm kind of an idiot. I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm sure your mother is waiting for you.
What was that all about?
Your sister has a lot to learn, is all. Hey, Edgy! Looks like you cleared everything up, huh?
It's all thanks to you, Larry.
Yeah, as much as I dread it.
So, what happened exactly? I was kind of busy sketching. Wait, where did Judy and Verity go?
Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you?
Though I am loath to admit it, Larry's sketches did come through for us on more than one occasion. Not that I'm about to tell him that. Quit a bit of glaring, will you? Whatever I did, I'm sorry! Calm down, Larry. I wasn't glaring at you.
You totally were. You're just like your pop. He was a terrible liar, too.
He was?
Listen, I'm gonna head out. Need to fill Samson in on what went down today. You wanna come with?
Yes, of course.
Great! Then I'm coming too! So, what's Mr. Tangora like? I can't wait to finally meet him! Oh, he's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. Even while locked up, he can't help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. It's why 3 p.m. cake extravaganza is a thing for prisoners and gods alike.
Wow, okay.
Really? That sounds awesome. You think there'll be any left for us to try?
Did we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the present the other day?
That's true, we did.
Yeah.
Man, it may have been the other day, but it feels like months.
Yeah. Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangora. He looks aged.
Well, he has aged.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service.
And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick, Kay Faraday. Miles here is Gregory's son.
Is that so? Your father was very kind to me and fought so hard for my case. But in the end, I betrayed him. I made a false confession and... Don't worry, Mr. Tangora. Mr. Fender has explained everything to me.
Sure did. And now we're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago.
The truth?
And so we told him the truth.
You did all that? For me?
Crazy kid racked her brain for 18 years until she'd finally figure out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out she really would do anything for you.
Oh, Judy. Never did anything to deserve such devotion. Calm now, Mr. Tangora. I think we all know that's not true. Bond between the two of you has held strong for all these years, after all. You think so?
Take that!
Those chocolates. Judy made them, didn't she? Yes, she did.
They're super delicious and sweet.
Miss Brown continued making them just as you told her, even after that fateful day. And that there would always be some waiting for you when you finally came home. Judy. I bet they're beyond super sweet then, aren't they? Very much so, I'm afraid. I wish we could hand them to you.
Don't worry, sir. I'll make sure he gets them later.
Thank you very much. You know, Detective, something about you reminds me of Detective Bird.
Really, pal? 'Cause I look up to him a lot. He's my role model.
Are you gonna work with the Yatagarasu in the future? Commit crimes?
You don't say. It seems fate likes to bring people of all sorts together, huh?
You hang in there, Samson, just a little longer. I should be able to get you out soon. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Nobody should have to wait 18 years to get justice.
Don't be silly, Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry, or rather, thank you. Truly. Well, I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. I better make sure there's something delicious on the table for her when she finally walks through that door. Don't let me down, Eddie.
Leave it to me, big guy.
When I was a boy, all I ever dreamed of was becoming an attorney like my father. But then, during my time with Mr. Von Karma, I learned the way of the prosecutor instead. Eventually, with the help of some good friends, I found my own voice and a new way to live.
Oh my god, he just admitted Larry's a good friend.
And also a certain spiky-haired person.
We don't talk about him.
Some weird girl who likes burgers for some reason. But now,
Is Maya really a friend?
more like an acquaintance. Now my career as a prosecutor is at risk of being taken away from me. Maybe the time to take another long, hard look at how I want to live my life. Whether I like it or not.
Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. It may have taken 18 years, but we're finally in a position to prove Samson's innocence. All thanks to your boy, Miles. I couldn't have done it without him. You should have seen him. The way he fought for the truth gave me chills. It was like I was watching you.
Aww.
Aww. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were, but those guiding principles you tried to instill in me, I like to think I'm embodying them now as I carry on your legacy. Here's hoping.
Aww.
Here's hoping your boy will be joining me in that soon.
Aww. That's cute. I'm going to fight crime as a prosecutor. Help people as an attorney. What is the right answer? Which path should I choose?